Good morning, Philippines. It's another wonderful Monday. Yeah, it's a Monday today, and it's 7:45 a.m. In a few minutes from now, we are going to start the last session for our defense in immersion or inquiries, investigation, and immersion. Yeah, this is brought to you by Governor Rafael L. Lazatin Integrated School, supported by our very own principal, Sir Erickson Cabrera, and of course, our dynamic person to connect to Superman in our very own Grillis, Dr. Reggie O. Cruz, Doctor of Education. So I would like to greet everybody a pleasant morning. And also, I would like to share with you that it was Dr. Reggie who put in all together the powerhouse, as you can see in your screen. Right? So I would like to thank all our panelists since this is the last day for our defense. And I would like to do a short recap who were present during the first day and second day, and who will be what part of this last day. Yeah, are you ready? Good morning, Philippines. I hope everybody have eaten their breakfast. Oh, I haven't eaten my breakfast yet, but that's okay. I have two cameras, camera one, camera two. So those who are wondering why do I have two cameras, so that when I'm communicating with the presenters, I chat here, so I'm still in view with the camera. Yeah, that's a good smile. And then when I am doing or looking at their presentation, I can either look here or look here, which is a bigger screen. Okay, so that's how it works. It works both ways. And okay, without further ado, because we're gonna start at exactly 8 o'clock, I'm gonna open the lines for our presenters to kick in into this program, to this meet, and then we're gonna start. Hopefully, our uh, guest panelists will be online by that time, and I'm sure they will be. All right. So first, let's kick off the first day. First day, as you can see on the screen, there you go. July 1, 2, and today is July 5th. And starts at 8 a.m. ends at 3:30. We have two sessions. We have separate panelists for the morning session and also for the afternoon session. Yeah. Okay. So for the on January for July 1st, sorry, I keep on saying January. It's July, okay. So we have Sir Richard G. Agnes, Master of Education. They are the panelists in the morning of July 1st. We have Sir J.R. C. Ginto, licensed professional teacher. And in the afternoon, we have Ma'am Erica Jane P. San Pedro, licensed professional teacher. And also in the afternoon, we have Doc Alan M. Algalar, okay, DHRP, DSW, Doctor of Literature, Doctor of Philosophy, HC, Doctor DCC, Doctor of Humanities, and more. He's quite a Superman. Yeah. So those were our panelists in the morning. As you can see on the screen, they're located where here on this side, the first four. And the second day would be the middle part. There you go. Second day would be, I have a list here. See, I have posters here, so I won't get lost. Okay. So second day would be Sir Ariel Guzman, licensed professional teacher, and Sir Vincent A. de Guzman, licensed professional teacher and a master in education, and Sir Anthony Zabala, licensed professional teacher. Yeah. And of course, in the afternoon, we have Sir Aldrian Borja Sigua, licensed professional teacher, and also our very own Superman is Dr. Alain M. Algalar. Okay, he has really a lot of, titles. DHRP, DSW, Doctor of Literature, PhD, HC, DCC, Dr. Bandis, and more. There are like, I think, seven more. Okay, so thank you so much for our panelists for July 1 and July 2. We are so happy. The the session was recorded. I sent it out to the students for revisions. So currently they are creating their revisions for their work. Okay. And your feedback was very valuable for their success. Sometimes it really helps experts helping, kicking in the process so that we could improve, right? Yeah. Excellent. What about today? Who are our panelists today? Who do you think? Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Na-na-na-na-na. Okay, let's set that aside. So for today, in the morning, we have Sir Richard N. Hernandez, Master in Education. We have Ma'am Josie F. De Malario, Master in Education. And we have Marvin Lloyd Lapan, local from our school, licensed professional teacher as well. In the afternoon, we have Cerces P. De Leon, licensed professional teacher, master in public administration. And of course, according to Doc Reggie, the very most sweet and kind doctor, PhD, Dr. Patrick Serrano, Division of Tarlac Province. Okay. Yeah. By the way, Sir Richman is from Division of Tarlac City. Wow, international. And Sir Circes is from Division of Pampanga. And Ma'am Josie and Sir Marvin, Division of Angeles City. And also Dr. Patrick is from the Division of Tarlac Province. So I think Tarlac City and Tarlac Province have different divisions. Like in Angeles City, we have like District of Pampanga, Division of Angeles, those things, right? And that's part of the education program. So those are our speakers for this morning. Aren't you excited? I'm so excited. And the people who will be presenting would be the general academic strand. Okay. So, we have here Dr. Patrick. Good morning, Dr. Patrick. How's Tarlac? Thank you for joining in and doing some observation. So, Dr. Patrick will be part of the afternoon session, but Doc, you can also give your feedback in the morning session. We don't mind extra help. Okay. So, as we continue in the prelude of the program, so hope everybody has taken their lunch already. I would just like to chat in. Give me a second. I will chat in the group here and let me remind them that they can kick in anytime they want. But I would like to ask permission to start on time. Yeah, because our panelists are very important to us. So let me just chat it here in our chat box here. Um, Good morning. I like your good morning. Good morning, Angie. Okay. I would like to ask permission to start at 8 a.m. Yeah. Please join in anytime. Connection is okay. Yeah. Thank you. Wait, hold on. Thank you and God bless. God bless. Oh, sorry. God bless. See you all po. Yan, syempre, Kapampangan at Tagalog or Filipino. Opo. So I wrote here, good morning. I would like to ask permission to start at 8 a.m. Please join in anytime. Connection is okay. Thank you. What did I write? Thank I am. Thank you. Oops, sorry. Ooh. Thank you. And God bless. See you all. There you go. So I said here, I asked permission in our panel group chat that we could start at exactly 8 a.m. because we have a series of presentations. And I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. So that's how it is. And um, so we're all set with that. I'm using this for general answers or questions from students or for anybody concerned. Then I'm using this a window here specifically for the students who will be presenting. Okay. So I'm working here, and I'm working here so that the program would be smooth. I don't want to waste a single minute for this day. And let's see, let's go to the next slide here. So those are all our speakers or panelists for the whole duration. We would like to thank everybody. Okay, everybody who, okay, oops, yes, ma'am. Okay. Good morning, Ma'am Josie. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Good morning, Doc Patrick. Oh, we have here Doc Reggie. Good morning. Good morning. So we if since we already have Doc Reggie in the morning, as early as now, I would like to give the floor later on for the introduction or the welcome remarks. Hi, Doc Reg. And let's proceed with the slide. Let me just show something here. Okay, there you go. So for our televiewers, those who will be viewing this after the recorded session, I would like to show the dynamics. So first we have here time allotted for the session. Now, the time allotted for the session would be 5 minutes preparation for each student. So, as you can see here, the first presentation will be 8:05. So, that means at 8 o'clock, they should start preparing, they should start joining in, and then they should start presenting at 8:05. And then, after each presentation, the panelists will be given at least 30 minutes. Okay, I'm sorry if I'll be strict with the time, our dear panelists, to ask their questions or to dissect the presentation. By the way, I would like to remind our panelists that the presentation, the people who will be presenting would be from the general academic strand. Okay, and so I would like to realign, our questions from their capability to answer regarding their track and their chosen field. Okay, so let's proceed. So for this first session, we have Sir Richman, Ma'am Josie, and Sir Marvin. Okay, and we have our wonderful doctor, Dr. Patrick, who graced in this morning's session. He can also ask questions anytime he wants to kick in the questions for our presenters. So as you can see here, magandang buhay po sa lahat, Ma'am Josie. Good morning. And as we can see here, welcome. By the way, oh, we're complete. Oh, we have one more, Sir Marvin Lloyd. Okay. So good morning, Ma'am Josie. Good morning, Doc Patrick. Good morning, Sir Richman. And good morning, Doc Reggie. Sorry. And good morning, Doc Patrick. So as you can see, as we see on the screen, that the first presentation will be 8:05, second 8:55, 9:45, and 10:35. Then lunch break, then we will thank you, sir. Congratulations too. Oh, we're now complete. Now we have to bring in the students here. Wait, hold on. Let me chat in the students. Pasok na. Dito na panelist. Okay. Panelist. Okay, there you go. Okay, we have one presenter present. Hi, Ralph. Hope you're all ready. Prep up. And to continue, we have here after lunch, fifth presentation, sixth presentation, seventh presentation, like 1 p.m., 1:50, 2:45, 3:30. And usually, just like the previous sessions, we were able to complete the program earlier. Okay, earlier, like 30 minutes earlier, an hour earlier. Then we can take our break earlier. Yee! Okay. So we have one inside the session. Let me check the attendance here. I already reminded the team. Ralph, saan yung mga kasama mo? Papasok na ba sila? Okay, second presenter, Ian. Very good. So by the way, my dear panelists and audience who would be listening in or watching after the program. So we have to allow at least a few seconds for people to come in the session. And also sometimes when they reply, like if we ask questions during the question and answer portion, they might be a short delay because of the connection. So it depends on their location and how strong the connectivity is. Like, for example, if I throw in a question, okay, we have here another member in. So we already have Sebrano, we already have Santos, we have Kamaya. We're looking for two more and we'll start. Okay, it's 8 a.m. And just like I was saying a while ago, when we ask questions, there may be a delay in answer because of the way internet works. There's a delay. Like, for example, I would say, hello, then it would take a while before the other party will hear hello. Then they're going to reply. Then it will take some time for us to hear it. Okay, so I hope we are okay with that, because the connection in the Philippines is a bit slow, and sometimes the location of the kids or the learners are quite you know in a not so good or stable internet connection. Okay. Having said that, before I give the welcome remarks to our resident doctor, our Superman for Grillis, Dr. Reggie O. Cruz, I would like to open the program, since it's already 8 a.m., with a short prayer. Okay. So let us pray, just a short prayer. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, everybody's complete. So, hi class. Good morning. Good morning, Karil, Ralph, Vea, Mark, and Kyla. I hope everybody's ready. I'm gonna stop my presentation now, and you can now push in your presentation. Then we'll have a short prayer and welcome remarks by Dr. Reggie Cruz. So, sino magpe-present sa inyo?
Ako po, sir.
Mark.
Okay, go ahead. You can share your screen. Then we will begin with a short prayer para tuloy-tuloy tayo mamaya. Okay. Wow, perfect. Okay, can you press F5 instead so that it would be the full screen? Or are you using a mobile phone? Okay. Well, anyway, we sent in copies to our panelists, so that's okay. Okay, that's fine. Let's bow our heads for prayer. Our dear Heavenly Father, this morning we come to you, thanking you, praising you for giving us a very healthy and wonderful weekend. I know some of us may be been through some problems, some health issues, or most of us, I'm very sure that we receive a lot of blessings because we woke up early, strong, and healthy, oh God. Thank you so much for your guidance and your support and providing us all the needs we need for the past week. May you bless this week, oh Lord, as we begin Monday with a blast, starting off this early. May you bless our panelists, keep them strong and healthy, oh God, and may you continually provide for their needs, for their safety, and also for their families, oh God. We also pray thee for the students who will be presenting this morning. May you give them strength and the knowledge to present their um, research work. May it be something that is worth emulating, and whatever improvements are suggested, may you give them the strength to pursue and make the revisions. Forgive us, Lord, in our sins, and may you bless each and every one who is in this program. Also pray for our leadership, Sir Erickson Cabrera and Doc Reggie Cruz, providing us the support we need also. Forgive us, Lord, our sins. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay. We have opened the gates of heaven, and now let us open the gates in our academic realm. So, Doc Reggie po, good morning.
Uh,
Um,
yes, sir. Good morning. And good morning to our guests, no? And also a part of our family. So I consider them as our stakeholders for our Greeley Senior High School family. Good morning po. Uh, good morning po to our panel and to our students as well. Ma'am Josie Damalerio, from Francisco G. Nepomuceno Memorial High School, and our internal panel, Sir Marvin Lloyd Canlapan, and Sir Richman Hernandez, our guest from Tarlac City. And siyempre po, we also give a a welcome, no, sa ating pong friend, and as well as sa ano na po natin, kapatid na natin sa ating buhay, Sir John Patrick D. Serrano, no. So is one of the ano po, what do you call that, inspiration of doing this before pa po, no, before the start of the senior high school program. So welcome po sa Governor Rafael L. sa Integrated School. It is our honor to be with you on this endeavor. This is our day 3. We started last Thursday, and today our general academic strand students will present their paper. We know that it is not that the perfect paper, but to appreciate their works even in this time of pandemic. We know that in this time of pandemic, there's a lot of challenges, especially in teaching and learning. But here at the Governor Rafael L. Integrated School, Senior High School, we try, or we give our very best uh, to deliver this kind of new normal setup for our students. It is not perfect, but we are very true to our mantra that and the mantra of DepEd that every work that we have, it is para sa bata, para sa bayan. So it is for our students and for our nation. And we commend the effort of our teacher, Sir Jotam, for this kind of activity. Even we know that it is impossible, or there is a problem or something, a challenge in terms of online presentation. But we know that God will give us blessings, connections, because of the desire of our heart to teach this grade 12 students that in any time, no, this month we will have our graduation ceremony online. So it is a transition for them from this time as a senior high school student. If they have the desire of going to college, so anytime this month they will have this transition of being a senior high school student going to tertiary education. So our students, just keep yourself relaxed, keep your uh, just present your paper and learn from our panel. So they are our friends, they are our we call that partners to provide you additional and enrichment knowledge to cope up with your next journey in life. So pauna ko na ang congratulations sa inyo for a job well done, and as well as to your to your teacher, Sir Jotam. Please give him a commendation because it is not easy, but it's not easy to teach. But if the desire of the heart is pure, there is no easy and there is no hard way, but uh, a meaningful journey will spark because of that purest desire of heart. Anyway, on behalf of the school head of the school, Sir Erickson P. Cabrera, so welcome to the day 3 of our research colloquium. And I hope that we inspire one another for this kind of endeavor. Thank you po. God bless. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Doc Reggie, our Superman in Grillis. He's the one who really connected all our speakers. It's a multi-pack. Thank you so much. God bless, Doc Reggie. And now the moment is for our presentation for the research. So let's give the time. Sinong mauuna sa inyo? Go ahead. The floor is yours, class.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, teachers. What is mental health? Ay, sir, required po bang i-on yung camera?
Yes, every time we speak, we can turn on the camera, and then during the Q&A, everybody turns on the camera so that we can
Okay,
see
sir.
your business attire. Good luck.
Thank you po, sir. What is mental health? Mental health is an integral and essential component of health, and according to Fellman A. 2020, mental health refers to cognitive, behavioral, and emotional well-being. It is about how people think, feel, and behave.
Okay.
Mental health
Mark,
includes,
excuse
sir,
Mark. Yes, can you, the screen, it's not moving. If you're on the second
ay,
page, that's
sorry po,
okay.
sir.
That's okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
So, mental health includes our emotion, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It is also help determines how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. There are some types of mental illnesses that we usually experience when we are afraid, sad, or any types of negative emotions, such as stress, anxiety, and depression. Because of this time of pandemic, we are all anxious, stressed, or some of us are depressed because on what is going on in our surroundings. Anxious because of the questions in our head that has no answer, or we were not able to answer them by ourselves, or stressed because you are lonely and you are missing your friend or your social life before this catastrophe. As a student, factors that led to the problem are lacking of focus when it comes on what's happening on our surroundings. And the quarantine caused by the pandemic made a huge psychological impact that affect our mental health on us as human beings, especially youths. The pandemic definitely affects the mental health of a student since it manifests fear and uncertainty for them. Adapting the environment this moment of time
Sir
is
Jota,
really hard for
excuse
us.
me. Excuse me po. Our panel requested that the slides are not moving. They are, yan po, hindi po nagmo-move yung ano. So,
I,
para po makapag-critic sila. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc.
Sige, anak ko.
yes, sorry po. Adapting the environment at this moment of time is really hard for us, especially when we cannot practice social gathering and the propagating of or implementing of the flexible learning. And because of this, students are missing their social life and having a hard time adapting new normal. Next.
Okay, next one.
Excuse me, Vea, you're muted.
Bianca, nakamute ka.
Yes, I'm sorry po for that
That's
technical
okay.
problem. Good morning again. I am Via Bianca Sembrano,
Okay.
and
Hold
I
on.
am
Bianca, hold on. Okay.
yes po.
Mark, ikaw ba yung nagpe-present?
Yes, sir. Ako po, sir.
Okay. Ilaki mo yung screen. You can press F5 or the button at the below the slide para lalaki yung screen. Hindi nababasa kasi ng panel natin.
Okay na po, sir.
Lakihan mo.
Ay,
Sige. F5, F5. Shortcut.
naka F5 na po siya, sir. Ay,
Totoo.
ko ulit ano, sir.
Alam ko na yung share screen mo, iba yung napili mo. Piliin mo yung full
Yes, sir.
screen sa share screen.
Sorry
That
po, sorry po.
explains it. That's okay, that's okay. There you go. Okay. Can you make that bigger? The input-output. Yung conceptual framework. Or nababasa naman? Yan, yan. I-select all mo, lalaki sila sabay-sabay. Nagulo siya, no? Sige, Bianca, yan. Yung font, anak. Sige, nababasa naman yata. Hope the panelists can read them. I can also send a copy to the panelists. Okay, proceed, Bianca, while Mark is working on it.
Again, good morning, everyone. I am Via Bianca Zambrano, and I am the second of reportee of this session. First of all, please bear with me if there would be any technical problems, as I am very nervous for this session. I will be sorry, the slide moved. And I apologize. We are not able to make a slide for the RRL, but still, I'm still gonna report it.
Go ahead, proceed. So, Bianca, go ahead.
Being in this pandemic poses threats to not just the economy but also our the education platform nowadays. As as a motto from Dr. Fon Sancienco, a Ramon Magsaysay awardee, and he is a Thai practitioner. The motto of his is "Ring the bell of hope for mental health." He is one of the few people to make developments regarding mental health, since a lot of development or movement are unavailable nowadays for mental health. Now, who defines an individual who realizes their potential and can cope up with the stresses of life, and you are then a mentally healthy state being. For this pandemic, students students are greatly affected since the COVID-19 outbreak last March 2020. It is shown in a survey made by WHO between June and August, wherein 17% of the 130 countries, which makes it 22, actually made financial actions regarding the situation. And since pandemic falls under the social cultural factors that mental health of students, since they are able to achieve their personality development or stature in group activities, which we are now unable to do since we don't have face-to-face classes or we are unable to interact with each other physically. DepEd itself is challenged to keep their students and teachers mentally healthy state. Since a news broke out that a student committed the S word, I wouldn't want to say the whole word itself because it might be a trigger warning to those who will watch and who are watching this presentation. Moving on, Lalu, on an article, the pandemic manifests fear and uncertainty for the students since not all students have the same coping mechanisms during this pandemic wherein they are emotionally stressed. On the statistics side, however, it shows the real effects of the pandemic in the mental health of students as Thai students made their own survey or studies wherein they have 1,187 respondents. They accumulated it from March 28 to April 12, 2020, wherein the statistics said that 16.3% have or raised that psychological effects are visible in this pandemic, while 16.9% of them said they are on the depressive symptom, 28.8% of them said that they are on the anxiety level, and lastly, 13.4% have stress levels. On another hand, Kosovo, a southeastern Europe school and University of Pristina or Hasan Pristina, they measured the psychological distress of students. The statistics said that 11.4% of the 100% population have severe psychological distress, 13.3% have moderate, 24.7% have mild, and 50.6% reported that they have non psychological distress pointed out on this pandemic. This includes their fear in, of course, adapting to web classes. Their studies show that in the ages 16 to 25, that is their range in their study, pressure, uneasiness, burdensome inclinations are visible. That with a new kind of interaction, it can cause refusal, self accusing, disappointment, stress, and nervousness. So, in this new way or new normal, we are still adapting, and we can see based on the statistics mentioned that it is truly, or our mental health is truly affected by this pandemic. Moving on, please.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, panelists. I am Lawrence Santos, the third reporter of this group. Before I start, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Statement of the problem. We all know that in this time of pandemic, there is a lot of changes has been made specifically to the students, from face-to-face to online class or module class. Some are prone to anxiety, stress, depression, while others might enjoying this stuff, this kind of education we have today. That is why the main purpose of this study was to determine the impact of COVID-19 to the senior high school students of Governor Rafael L. Azotin Integrated School. Specifically, it seeks to answer the following questions. First one is, does the pandemic affect students' mental health? And it includes two questions. The first one, how does the pandemic affect students' mental health? What are the factors that affect the students' mental health during the pandemic? Followed by, why does the pandemic affect mental health? Is it negative or positive? And we have the second here. How can students overcome psychological illnesses caused by pandemic? How can students handle such a hindrance like mental health issues at their young age? Next, type of research. The researchers chose action research for the type of research, which is descriptive research design, and seek and solve questions in practical situation. This methodology focuses more on the what of the research subject is than the why of the research subject. In other words, it describes the subject of the research without covering why it happens nor why it occurs. The information can be gathered by a questionnaire and interview. The questionnaires and interview require analyzing who, where, when, and what. Next slide, please. Respondents. We select 20 random senior high school students from Governor Rafael L. Azotin Integrated School to respond in the questionnaires we made. Next is sampling method. Simple random sample is used under the probability sampling, wherein the informants are random chosen, allowing the researchers make a statistical conclusion, followed by the source of data. The researcher's source of data will be responses by the random 20 senior high school students through Google Form. Now we have instrument. The instrument used in the research was the digital survey. The survey can be answered through online platform in Google Forms. They will answer the question and choose only one on the question. This was answered by about 20 respondents in the 11th grade and 12th grade of Greeley's. This survey contains 7 questions about the research done. Data collection procedures. The researchers sought permission from the selected senior high school students of Governor Rafael Elasatin Integrated School if they would like to participate in the study. Permission is established. This served as the formal consent of the participants. What happened? To permission is established. I'm still in the permission is established. This served as the formal consent of the participants of participate to provide the data. Next slide.
We're very sorry for the technicalities that are happening right now.
That's okay. That's okay. Sometimes it happens if it's auto transfer. What the person presenting would do so that it will pause, you just transition like once the slide is opened, transition to the next window. Like I mean, go to the Google Meet so that it will freeze, because I think it's automatic transition.
Yes,
So
sir. I'm sorry,
yes.
sir.
That's okay. That's okay. It's the format of the PowerPoint. So it happened during the last defense too. So what you need to do is just shift the screen from Google Meet and it will freeze itself. So that's what we can do. Okay, go ahead. You can continue.
Good morning po. Data analysis. The researchers provide the questionnaires via online survey through Google Form. This way, it is safer and can reduce the chance of the researchers being infected with COVID-19. The graphs are composed by 7 different questions. Next slide, please. Figure number 1. The question in figure number 1 is there any type of mental illness that you feel? If yes, identify. Based on our survey, 90.9% of our respondents suffer from stress, 45.5% are experiencing anxiety, 18.2% are feeling depressed, while 4.5% are experiencing overthinking and panic attacks.
Good morning, sir. In figure number, wait, wait, sir.
Okay, we have to speed up. I will give you at least 2 minutes to complete the presentation. Then we'll proceed with Q&A.
Okay, sir. Um, in figure number 2, the question is, what are the factors that affect your mental health? The possible answers are boredom or loneliness, existing mental illness even before the quarantine, over fatigue, and most of the respondents answered that they suffer from a mental illness even before the pandemic occurred. It simply means that they they suffer from a mental illnesses even before the quarantine, and it became worse when the pandemic happens. 36.4% answered it because of boredom and loneliness, while 22.7% answered that it because of fatigue. In figure 3, the question is, how does pandemic affect your mental health? The possible answers are positively, negatively, and neutral. 45% for 45.5% of the students is answered that it affects them neutrally. It means that it affects them positively and negatively, while 31.8% answered that it has a negative effect on their mental health, and 22.7% of them said that it has positive effect in their mental health. In figure 4, the question is, how often do you see yourself stressed, depressed, or anxious? The possible answers are always, often, sometimes, rarely, never. Um, Majority of them answered that they sometimes see themselves stressed, depressed, anxious, while 22.7% of them answered that they often see themselves in that state, and 13.6% of them um, answered that they always see themselves anxious, depressed, and stressed. In figure 5, the question is, how did you know that you are experiencing a mental health anomaly? The possible answers is based on symptoms, someone's diagnosis due to heavy workload. Um, 90.9% of the informants answered that they experienced the mental health anomaly. Um, 4.5 answered that it is because of heavy workload of someone diagnosis. In figure 6, the question is, what are the things that you can do to overcome psychological illnesses? Most of them answered that they are entertaining themselves in order to forget their problems. In figure 7, how can you handle such a hindrance like mental health issues at young age? Um, Most of them answered that to manage their mental health, they entertain themselves and motivate themselves to be positive. That's also.
Thank you. Is that uh,
Sorry, sir. Though it is late, I would still like to present the conceptual framework of our research study. Can you please go to the slide, Mac?
There you go, Bea.
Thank you very much. So here is our conceptual framework presented on the slide. For our input, we prepared online survey questions, which are of course inclined to our statement of the problem. We then identified our respondents, which will be the senior high school students at Governor of Elizabeth. We then set the schedule of the gathering data, wherein what date will be given the questionnaires and what date will be retrieving them. And then we also meet with our team and, of course, our research advisor. Sorry, keep it on that slide. And for our first process, we of course send a link for our online survey for the respondents to answer. We then acquired first, of course, before giving those questionnaires and survey questions, we acquired an approval for our on our assistant school principal and conduct our investigation through Messenger. For our process two, we gathered, of course, the data, and then after we gathered those data, we analyzed them and created graphs and charts inclined to our statement of the problem. For our output, we then presented the results. We concluded the study and, sorry, we sent our advocacy promotion or the recommendations for the whole study. And lastly, we shared our research to our advisors and teams. That would be all. Thank you.
okay? Is that the end of the presentation?
Hindi pa po, sir. Sorry po.
Okay, that's okay.
For so, we, the researchers, suggested that the future the future researchers look at the additional variables impacting our youth today as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. The future researchers also must know how sensitive taking mental health as a topic is. Furthermore, because obtaining a larger sample of individuals from a more stratified population sample, future researchers will be able to draw more accurate and reliable findings. Future researchers can establish more valid and dependable conclusions by obtaining a larger sample of individuals from a more stratified population sample. In the final analysis, more initiatives must be established to address mental health concerns and hindrances, and additional measures are required to solve mental health problems and barriers.
Okay, conclusion. In this research, we conclude that majority of the students are having mental illness such as stress, depression, and anxiety even before the pandemic. But it became worse when the pandemic hits because pandemic induces considerable fear, worry, and concern in our mind. Students tend to keep things rather than opening, but they don't need to struggle in silence because they are not alone. Mental illness is treatable and they can live well with a mental health condition as long as they open up to somebody.
That's all for our presentation, sir.
That's all. Okay. Thank you. So now let's give the moment to our panel. Anybody can start the question and answer. Sir Richmond, Sir Marvin, Ma'am Josie, in any order po. Go ahead, Sir Richmond. I think you're on mute, sir.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's
Okay.
okay, sir.
So my first question is, how do you define these terms? Yung depression, yung stress, yung anxiety kanina. Okay, that's my first question muna. Um, my second question is, how do your respondents identify their illness? Halimbawa ako, depression to. Ganun ba siya?
I'm sorry, sir. Could you please repeat the first question?
Okay. My first question is, how do you define these terms? Yung, ayan, yung nasa conclusion ninyo. Yung stress, depression, and anxiety.
Sir, permission to answer, sir.
Go ahead. Anybody can answer.
So, depression is a big word. You may need a psychologist to diagnose you're depressed, but we commonly we commonly experience stress and anxiety. At the word itself, sir, anxiety, you're being anxious. There are questions in your mind that you're not able to answer them, sir, and that's all, sir.
Sorry, permission to answer. As additional answer po,
Mhm.
as including in our research topic po, we define these terms as results of result effect of the pandemic in our mental health.
Okay. So, kanina nakita ko dun sa result, meron siyang percentage ng depression. And according dun sa definition na binigay ni Mark, okay, parang nalalaman na depressed ka dahil nag-consult ka sa isang particular na doctor. Okay? So, paano yun na-identify ng mga respondents natin? No? Do your respondents know the differences of these terms?
Permission to answer po. I believe, sir, that they truly know the differences of these three because in our research questionnaires, it is stated there in a different, it is a multiple choice problem, and so they have their freedom to choose of those three. So I guess they really know the differences of them.
Okay, could you please show your questionnaire, sample questionnaire?
Wala po siya dito sa PowerPoint.
Ako
If
na yung,
okay lang
ako
po
na yung, ako na yung
ay, sige
mag-present.
po.
Nasa document nyo, di ba?
Apo, sir.
Okay.
Sige po, sir.
Sige,
Thank you po.
tanggalin mo na yung share screen. No worries. Let me share it for the panel. Hold on. Mhm. This segment is brought to you by Titanic. Tarara, tararara. Ito na. Okay, I'm just trying to kill the time. So this is group one. Let me pull up the document here. Hold on. Ah, hi. Okay, sharing my screen. Pardon me if it's still loading. Group one, fate. Study the effects of pandemic in the mental health of the learners. Okay, let me share my screen here. Mhm. Where is the document? It's still loading. Thank you for your patience, our dear panelists and class. There you go. Let me the questions. Oh, please don't freeze. Do not freeze. This is not the moment for freezing. At the end, respondents questions. There you go. Okay, here. Hopefully. What number? Okay. Type window, document. There you go. Share. Let me see if it's loading. Right. This is my camera too to verify. Okay. So anytime you're ready. I guess it's the number one. Is that correct, class? Number one?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, that's my follow-up question dun sa sagot kanina. Gusto ko lang kasi malaman kung paano na-identify ng isang particular student kung depressed siya. Sila ba dapat ang mag-identify ng salitang depression para sa kanila since sinabi ng mga kaklas ng isa sa mga sumagot kanina ay makuha ang result from a specialist, parang ganon. Nga pala yung correction ko, kinorek ko dito, yung mga correction ko regarding sa grammar, dito sa PowerPoint na sinendi sir, doon ko siya kinorek, no? Pero yun lang ang question ko regarding your study. And magsasuggest lang ako ng very light sa title. Kung pwedeng na lang, kung effects of COVID-19 on students' mental health in yung school nyo, ganon. Yun lang ang tanong ko, tapos wala na. Sige.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And that was Sir Richmond. Thank you, Sir Richmond. Okay. Next po, sino pong may tanong? Ma'am Josie or Sir Marvin? Go ahead po, Ma'am Josie.
Good morning po sa lahat. So, yung question ko lang po is medyo little lang po. Bali, doon po sa respondents, ilan po yung ginamit ninyo?
20 respondents po.
20 respondents. Kasi nakikita ko kasi, doon sa mga graph na present ninyo o doon sa mga figure nyo, meron kayong 22 responses. So, sa 22 na yon, dapat ba so, kaya nga hindi nagtatali. Tama ba ako? Kasi yung pagtatali dapat is parehas yung data ninyo, yung mga data ninyo doon sa respondents po ninyo. Kasi dito nakikita ko dun sa mga figure nyo po kasi is lumilitaw na may 22 responses po kayo doon sa mga question po ninyo. So, hindi lang po 20 ang mga respondents na lumilitaw. Kung hindi, meron pa po more than 20. Tama po ba ako?
Anybody can answer, class?
Sorry, ma'am, for the clarification po. I saw the PowerPoint presentation and it is true that we have 20 plus respondents. The reality po talaga is we have 22 respondents, ma'am. I'm sorry.
So, yun po, paki-correct po yun kasi dapat po lahat po ng binibinatawan natin data or pinapakita po natin data is nagtatali po.
Noted, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Last na lang po. Bali, tanong ko po, anong pong tools ang ginamit ninyo doon sa pag-gather po ninyo ng data to measure po ang mga ito?
We used Google Forms, ma'am, for our survey questions.
Oo. Paano nyo na-measure yung data ninyo? Nung pag-gather nyo ng data, nakaleft nyo na yung mga data na po natin, paano nyo po na-measure? Kasi hindi lumitaw sa PowerPoint po ninyo kung ano pong tools ang ginamit po ninyo.
Ma'am, sa Google Form po, automatic po siyang matral.
So, ito bang halimbawa din sa figure? Ayan po, sige po.
Ay, sige ma'am. Tapusin niyo na po, Ma'am Josie, tapos si Sir Richmond.
Opo, kasi lumilitaw po halimbawa doon sa figure 1, paano niyo na-determine itong ganitong figure? Paano nag-come out, lumabas ang ganitong result?
Yan nga po, ma'am. Kapag po sa Google Docs po, automatic po siyang matatali po.
Wala ba kayong ginamit na study? Nag-defend lang kayo sa Google?
Classic, it's okay to answer yes or no. That's okay.
I'm sorry, ma'am, to make the question clear lang po. Do you mean po when we have like references on why we came up with those questions on the data?
Yes na.
Yes po. As I apologize earlier po, it is not included. We are not able to include our RRL in the whole presentation, but as I've said po earlier, or I presented earlier, we have the study from Thai students and the study from HASA Pristina, or the University of Pristina in Kosovo, Southeastern Europe. In those RRL, ma'am, there are, the materials used for those are related to our questions po. We like adapted and revised the questions. I hope that answers the question po.
Sige. Bali, ang ano ko doon is, oo nga, meron kayong model na ginamit sa paggawa ng thesis na ito. Yung hinahanap ko is yung paano nyo nakita yung kung reliable ba to, validity ba yung lumabas na doon sa mga figure po ninyo. Yun lang po. Okay?
Thank you, Ma'am Josie. Go ahead, Sir Richmond.
Another question lang, may nakita lang akong very light na na somewhat connected dun sa sinabi ni Ma'am kanina regarding dito sa mga ito. Kasi usually, alam ko, ang pagkakaalala ko kapag gusto natin tanungin itong mga depression na to, yung mga yan, meron tayong tinatawag na standardized test or assessment to measure this, no? Buti pa, mas okay siguro na ma-adapt natin yon, no? Regarding how to identify kung depressed ba yung bata, something na ganon. May tinatawag yata tayong standardized test assessment para dyan. Kasi hindi natin basa-basang matatanong ang bata kung depressed ba siya, stressed ba siya, anxious ba siya, something na ganon. Kasi mahirap siyang kunin as data para sa kanila. Kasi sensitive ang mga gantong topic na depression, no? What if dun sa result na nakita kanina, may nakita tayong depression, or depressed yung mga estudyante natin, yung mga kasamahan natin sa school, no? Paano kaya yun maa-address sa school natin? Paano kaya magagawa ng school, nakita nila na ang result ay mataas ang percentage ng depression ng mga naging result dito. 'Di ba? Ayan. Kaya yun yung tanong ko kanina sa inyo. Kung parang how do your respondents identify their illness? Kung yung sakit nila. Ako kasi, personally, kaya medyo malapit ako sa ano nyo, sa topic nyo, dumaan kasi ako sa depression talaga. Lumapit ako sa isang psychometrician ba yun? I know, I don't know, psychologist talaga na ano, na nag-test ako, kasi may time na talaga may pinagdadaanan ako. So dumaan ako, naggagamot pa nga ako noon. No? Kaya talagang very sensitive siya kung susumahin natin. So yun lang.
Thank you, Sir Richmond. Go ahead, Ma'am Josie.
Yes, sir. Additional lang about doon sa ano po nila, respondents po. Siguro pa-take note na lang po yung age po. Ilang bang, yung age range po ng ginamit yung respondents po. Hindi po ba kaya nagkaroon po, wala kayang epekto ito doon sa mga ginamit ninyong tools? Like, for example, doon sa stress, depression, sinong mas higit? So, pa-take note po yung mga, ako, take note ko na lang siguro. Siguro, mas maganda po, magandang lilitaw kung yung age range po ng mga ginamit ninyong respondent is pinalitaw po ninyo.
Thank you, ma'am. Class, you have a question in your survey, number 7. Do you remember that? Yung hindrance, how can you handle such a huge hindrance like mental health issues at your age? Were you able to identify the age? Or was this question answered properly? I guess you can revise this question based on the suggestion of Ma'am Josie, okay? You check your manuscript and it has a questionnaire number 7. Thank you, Ma'am Josie. Thank you, Sir Richmond. Before we close the session and prepare for the next group, Sir Marvin, do you have any questions, sir? For our last question?
Okay, ako lang po, last question po to our researcher. What is the impact of your study to you and to your future researcher? Yun lang po.
Thank you, Sir Marvin. Last, ano daw impact ng study nyo sa community, sa school, sa future researchers? Karil, can you answer? Or Kyla?
Sir, siguro po sir yung impact po namin is siguro awareness po for students and students and parents po, awareness for this na nakakaranas din po kami ng ganito sir, na unstable na mental health sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, awareness.
Okay. But you guys are okay, huh? If you have problems, you can talk to our guidance, okay? So, like for example, nahirapan na kayo sa inyong modules or there are certain things that affect your studies, you can always come to Ma'am Irene, our guidance, okay? So, any other questions before we let the group go and we can proceed with the second group? Sir Richmond, Ma'am Josie, Sir Marvin? All good? Okay, I think that's okay. So, class, before you end up, I would like you to personally thank our panelists for their guidance because their input, their valuable information that they given us will help improve our paper. Go ahead, you can take them one by one, please, and then you can leave the session.
To our panelists, I'm very thankful po. Thank you for this experience and thank you for the advices or the suggestions that you made for our whole research. We will truly take note of all of those. Everything that you said, ma'am. Sir, thank you very much po. Have a good day po.
Okay, thank you. Okay, you can now leave the session. If anybody would like to say their personal things, you can now end the call so that the next group can prepare. Okay. Next group, you can now, uh, the floor is yours. Please present your PowerPoint. Good morning, Jeffel. Good morning, Leonardo. Laika, good morning, Irish. And good morning, Carlos, who is still. So we have De La Cruz. Berdahe. Will Berdahe join?
Sir, good morning.
Is Good morning. Is Berdahe joining us?
Hindi na.
Okay. Sige, you can proceed presenting your PowerPoint.
Sir, yung pop namin, sinend daw po ni Ira.
Oh, it was sent. Okay. Give me a second.
Thank you.
Who sent it?
Irish po.
Who?
Irish.
Irish?
Yes,
When
sir.
did you send it, Irish?
Sa Gmail po.
As a Gmail. Okay. So while I'll open my Gmail, how come you did not send it through the chat room? Yeah. Okay, give me a second. So while I'm opening it, I guess I just have to present the introduction. Hold on. So go ahead, introduce yourself, class. Anybody home? Yoo! Class, are you there? Can you hear me? Or am I on mute?
Good morning, sir.
Okay. Can you introduce yourself while I'm pulling up the PowerPoint?
Sir, by the way, hello, good morning to all.
What's the title of your research? Iris?
Um,
The title of our research is Study on How We Can Decrease Teenage Pregnancy among among the student.
Okay. Wow, teenage pregnancy. That's very timely. And yep, I saw the email and I'm now downloading it. Okay. So, did you find your research interesting? Like, was it challenging to gather information, class?
yes, sir.
I was curious about the respondents. Were they like brave enough, right? To talk about it. So let's see. Let's see. This is most of your topics are like very scary. They're confidential and they are, you know, they really need careful presentation, especially the data. Okay. Can anybody see it or will I need to download it? Is that big enough? Okay. Go ahead. Wait, hold on. I think it's better if I download it. It's not downloading. Mhm. Okay. You can now start while we're downloading it. Then I'll just shift it to.
So, hello. First of all, I want to introduce ourselves. We are the group 2 from 12 Gas Faith, and I'm Irish Micaelas de la Cruz, and our research, our research entitled "I Study on How We Can Decrease Teenage Pregnancy." Mm.
Okay, sorry. Sorry. Hold on.
Teenage
Let me.
pregnancy among senior high school students. Jeffel.
Okay na.
Okay.
Um, because teenage pregnancy is a in teenagers nowadays. I think that teen pregnancy could have been avoidable issue if sex was a conversation topic between parents and their kids and teacher to students. It's also good to know about teenage pregnancy because other teenagers are in our age are going through something that we don't know about. We all knew that this is a big problem and we just wanted to know into it more and see if what could we do anything about it para po ma-resolve po yung problema na ang problema na ito. So, for the introduction, I will introduce you, Carlos Miguel. Yan.
I think you're on mute, Carlos.
Sir, narinig po ba ako?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Ano po, sir?
Go ahead. We can
Ano?
hear you now.
Sige. Okay, guys, I'm Carlos Miguel F. Lopez, and I will be your presenter today. This is the introduction. We live in a world that teenage pregnancy is very rampant. Nowadays, in the midst of pandemic, the number of cases drastically increased compared last year. In some areas, the problem still persists. Most of the childbirths are unintended, which mean not planned or meant. And due to the advancement of technology in medical field, there are a lot of ways to decrease pregnancy among seniors high school students. Using condoms and contraceptives are the common practice to prevent pregnancy among senior high school. The use of condoms has a significant role in our body. Condoms can protect you against sexually transmitted infection, STIs, and they can be used to prevent pregnancy, and it's also decrease the chances of being impregnated. And due also to decrease adolescent pregnancy, include community programs to improve social development, responsible sexual and behavior education, and improve contraceptive counseling delivery. In addition to this, the school can also do their part by providing the necessary information on preventing pregnancies and by encouraging teens to make responsible choices when having sex. School can provide knowledge, reinforcing positive social norms and enhancing social skills through various types of abstinence or sex education. The role of schools and teachers are significant in shaping the youth because the students are most likely to avoid teen pregnancy when they believe in positive future for themselves. And that's for our introduction. So,
So next, for the statement of the problem, um, the purpose of this study to educate the student about on how decrease teenage pregnancy. Especially the researcher want to seek answer to the following statement. Number one, how can we decrease teenage pregnancy among seniors high schools? So that Don, we want to know kung paano yung magiging way para makapag-ingat sila through sexual intersex. Tapos 1.1, how can we reduce the teenage pregnancy rate? Yun nga kasi nowadays pandemic, maraming kabataan around 14 to 18 years old ang mga maaga nabubuntis. So, yun. For the number 2, Jeffel.
Yes, effect of increasing numbers to our society. So yun. Um sa lahat increasing of numbers of teenage pregnancy in our society ay malaking pong impact yun at sa effect po yun sa society natin because um it it will largen on our population, especially for the for the for the teenager na wala pa pong trabaho. Mas dadami po yung maghihirap at nahihirapan. Kasi lahat po ng mga most of our sinurvey po namin na lahat karamihan sa kanila is um, nakabase lang din sa parents nila. Kasi wala din silang sariling pang sustento sa family nila. Kasi based on our survey po, yung pagbubuntis nila is unplanned at hindi po nila ginusto din po yun. And for the types of research. So for the types of research, we use an applied type of research or an action research, which is descriptive in nature because they seek to solve a specific problem in practical situation and uses a mixed method for this type of research. The purpose of the study is to educate and assess the awareness of learners about how we can decrease the rate of teenage mother, and the study intended to find out whether teenagers are aware of the different pregnancy preventative measure. So, yung mga respondent po namin, and for the respondent, mamaya, excuse po. Next po, for the respondents, teenage mother or adolescent mother between the ages of 13 to 19 years old. They are the the respondent who help us to gather information by answering our survey questionnaire, and for that we will know the disadvantage of being a mother at a young age. So we can think the best way on how we can decrease the rate of teenage mother for being pregnant. So next, for the instrument.
So, for the instrument po, connected po siya sa SOP for the number 1 question. Makikita nyo na po dyan. How old were you when? So, yung most of, yung mga pagpipilian namin dyan is 13 to 19 years old. As yan, 2. Nag-ano lang kami ng 9 questions na connected dun sa SOP para hindi sila masyadong mahirapan. Ganun. Tapos, next po.
Nakamute siya. Sinong next?
Sa data collection procedure po, kami pong mga researchers, gumawa po kami ng questionnaires about sa topic namin, yung how we can decrease teenage pregnancy among senior high school students. And kami pong mga researchers, kinuha po namin yung mga sagot ng mga respondents namin through messenger dahil pandemic po, bawal pong masyado sa mga tao. Tapos, in-explain din po namin sa mga respondents namin yung advantage and disadvantage ng how we can decrease the teenage pregnancy among senior high school students. Kami pong mga researchers din, kinlarify po namin yung mga some terms ng sa questionnaires po para po maintindihan po ng respondents namin kung ano po yung mga nakalagay sa questionnaires para po masagot po nila ng maayos.
Next.
Ah, sa data analysis po, yung number one question po is how old were you when you had your first child? So, uh,
Pa-next po
six,
ng ano.
so 16 years old po, meron pong nagsabi na meron pong 9 years old na meron pong 16 years old na nabuntis po. Tapos po, 6 po na 17 years old, and 4 po na 18 years old, and isa pong 19 years old. Tapos number two question po is, what made you decide to have a children at young age? Mostly po, sinabi po nila na undecided and unplanned. Number three po, how did you cope with the difficulties from being a mother? So, mostly po, sinabi po nila na ah, tinutulungan po sila ng parents nila. And meron din pong nagsabi na nahihirapan po sila sa ano sa being mother po na teenage pregnancy.
So for the number 4 po, what were some of the challenges you that teenage mother being a parent at a young age? Ano yung mga challenges nila is 50% of them said answer that lack of sleep and not and also a not good eating routine. Tapos hindi ko makita.
Lack of
Lack
sleep, feeding baby.
baby when child have a sick can't live a life being a teenager, no one helped them, didn't finish the study. So teenage mother, marami po sila challenge na tawag doon? na na nahihirapan po sila sa pag-aalaga ng kanilang anak kasi hindi pa po sila ready. Number 4. 5.
5.
So if you could go back. So 90% po nagsabi sa kanila na no po. 10% of them said yes. Because
So,
no po kasi um they know na po na sobrang hirap po talaga na na maging teenage mother at at maging pregnant at a young age po. Especially po wala pa pong stable na trabaho at saka yung asawa po wala pa po din mga trabaho. And kung hindi na po nila kung pagbibigyan sila ng chance na bumalik sa oras na yon na kung gagawin ba nila or hindi. Hindi na po nila gagawin kasi nga hindi daw po nila kaya at mahirap po. And some said is yes kasi daw po grateful naman daw po sila for having a baby and masaya naman daw po sila eh, and gusto daw nila po and then gusto din nila na magkaroon na din ng anak at a young age.
wow. Siguro yun yung 19 years old, no?
Yes sir, and also 18 po nagsabi.
Okay. Grabe. Sige. Next ba?
Ako pa pala. Should we offer birth control? 70% said yes, and 15% said no, and also maybe daw 15% din nagsabi ng no, ng maybe. Yes po, kasi daw they said they can prevent it for having a baby pag gumamit po ng mga birth control like condoms and pills. Tapos may nagsabi din daw, and 15% said yes because they said it's not good. I don't know. I don't understand it, but they said it's not good for having for it's not good offering birth control. And also maybe they said they want, and also 15% said maybe because they said okay to offer a birth control, and also it's okay to not offer birth control. And so yes, that's our data analysis.
So for the number 7 question, do you think introducing sex and health education in primary to secondary school from the early ages of children as grade 7 will help you, and why? So 85% ang nagsabi ng yes, and um yes daw kasi para habang maaga pa ma-educate nila yung mga bata about sa sex and health education para maging mulat sila sa realidad ng sa panahon ngayon. So next po. For number 8 question, what do you think the cause of teenage pregnancy? Yung pinaka mataas from 35%, which is alcohol. Alam naman natin yung kapag sa alcohol, pag nasobrahan, yung parang di na natin alam yung ginagawa natin. Kaya siguro napunta sila sa pangyayari na yon dahil sa alcohol. Tsaka yung 35% din yung curiosity. Lalo na sa social media ngayon, maraming mga teenagers na mayroon ng social media, lahat naman siguro tayo meron ganun. So parang na-curious sila, yung bawat may makita sila na ganun, parang naisip nila, ano kayang feeling nito, ganun. Yan. Anong kakahinatnan? Di nila kasi alam yung kakahinatnan nung gagawin nilang yun. So, next. For the last question, what is the best advice you could give to teenagers nowadays? So yun, most na halos sinabi nila, never try to sex as sa batang edad. Yung wag muna nilang isipin yon. Wag mo na lang isipin yon. Isipin mo na nila mag-aral, ganun. Wag mo na kapag if ever man daw na, may nagsabi na, if ever man na pumasok sa isip nila yon, isipin muna nila yung magiging kahihinat na gagawin nila, kung magiging mabuti para sa kanila o hindi. Yan yung last question. For the next slide.
Carlos Miguel.
Carlos, baka nakamute ka, anak.
Sorry sir, akala mute na ako.
Okay, that's okay.
Ulitin ko po sir. The plan for dissemination and advocacy, our research called How We Can Decrease Teenage Pregnancy Among Senior High School Students is a research focused on conducting a needs assessment and figuring out the effective way to decrease adolescent pregnancy among senior high school in barangays sa palibutad to strengthen and inform organizations working to promote the use of condoms and contraceptive in community, and also to encourage teens not to have sex, recognize LARC, long-acting reversible contraceptive, as a safe and effective choice of birth control for teens. And our advocacy part is to raise awareness about teenage pregnancy. It is evident that although there are some learners lacking knowledge in some of the sexual-related issues, to date, the majority are acquiring proper knowledge. This study also aims to spread awareness towards the bad effects of teenage pregnancy to help with this advocacy. We can reduce the numbers of teen parents. In addition to this, the The research the research also recommends to seek training in LARC insertion and remind teens that LARC by itself does not protect against sexually transmitted diseases, and that condoms should also be used every time they have sex. And that's all for plan for dissemination and advocacy, sir.
Okay, thank you. And that's the end of your presentation, right? So let's now proceed with the question and answer. Thank you for your presentation. Anybody can start from the panel po. Go ahead, Sir Richmond. Thank you.
Balik nyo nga doon sa title na, medyo, ano ako sa title eh. Ayan, a study on how we can decrease teenage pregnancy among senior high students. Paano ba to? Hindi ba pwedeng ang kunin natin sa study natin regarding, do maganda na identify nyo na gano'n na naging problem nila. Pero doon sa mga sagot ng mga respondents natin, parang hindi siya nagsusut doon sa title natin, like yung challenges. Parang another study na naman yun, no? Na-encounter ng mga respondents natin regarding teenage pregnancy. Ang focus kasi natin dito is how we can decrease. Pero sana, bago natin kunin yung how we can decrease teenage pregnancy, yung awareness muna. Kasi ang nakita ko kasi parang babae lagi ang focus dito. Hindi naman babae lang ang dapat managot, ang dapat bigyan ng information regarding teenage pregnancy. 'Di ba? Ang kinuha nyo lang kasi puro babae yung mga respondents natin. Yun yung nakita ko eh. Dapat responsable ang dalawa, ang babae at lalaki sa pangyayaring ito. So, okay, yung pwede siguro yung sa title natin, yung awareness of prevention of teenage pregnancy among. Tapos yung senior high school students. Parang ganon. Tapos yung next question ko, do you have your informed consent to parents in getting the response of your respondents? Anyone can answer. Kasi based dun sa nakita ko dun sa ang tawag dito, dun sa paradigm ninyo, no? Wala siya. Letter from your assistant principal yung nandoon. Yes, Irish.
Sir, before po namin binigay yung Google Forms, inas muna namin sila through chat kung okay lang ba sa kanila yung interview about dito sa research namin.
Yes.
Sa
Okay.
kanila.
Okay sa kanila. But then they are under 18 yung mga iba, no? Dapat may involvement din ang parent natin. Tandaan yan. Dapat may involvement din ang parent dun sa pagkuha ng sagot kasi underage sila. I mean under 18 sila. Okay?
Opo.
Next,
Yes.
dun sa sige nga, lipat nyo na. Dandahan lang para minsan na lang yung tanong ko. Kasi lagi nyo sinasama, they have to use condom, they have to use this one. So, paano ko ba anuhin? Parang it is more of it is not educating. Parang kung maggaganto kayo, dapat may mag-condom kayo. Parang it's an option para sa kanila na gamitin ito, no? At ang tanong ko doon, may program ba ang barangay? May program ba ang barangay natin or ang DepEd to cater this issue? Sa palagay ko, wala. So dito, papasok yung output natin. Pwedeng magkaroon ng program ang DepEd aside from dun sa mga information na binibigay natin like yung mga talk, mga ganyan. Hindi lang dapat ganun ang program ng ibinibigay ng barangay o ng DepEd sa teenage pregnancy na tinatawag natin, no? Talagang may consistent program siya para maiwas. Talagang sobrang dami. Sa school nga namin, meron kaming 24 na buntis from grade 8 to grade 10. Hindi ko pa alam yung sa senior high school, no? Knowing na yung bilang, nakaka-alarma talaga, 'di ba? Ang ano ko doon, paano natin talaga maiiwasan? Paano hindi natin monitor yung mga bata. Hindi natin nakikita yung mga bata sa kanilang ginagawa. That's why we have to have this program, no? Consistent dapat ang paggawa natin ng program para dun sa ma-decrease yung sinasabi nating teenage pregnancy. Nakuha. Next po. Dito hindi ako masyadong nalinawan paano natin bibigyan ng kasagutan. Siguro yung level muna ng awareness yung number 1 ng mga kabataan o nung mga nabubuntis, no? Tapos siguro dito yung program sa number 3, pwede na yung program, no? Na pwede nating what are the programs na pwede nating ibigay para sa mga sa school, sa kabataan, no? Napansin natin parang kasi ilang sa mga anak ko talagang meron ng isa. Pero parang puro guidance lang, kausap lang sa parents ang nagawa namin. Wala talagang particular program ang DepEd para doon. Para ewan ko lang kung meron po talaga. Pero sa nakita ko kasi parang wala pa talaga. Next po. Ninonote nyo na lang muna yung mga ano ko. More on suggestion lang ako dito sa ano. Next po. Sige sir, next pa po.
Next.
Okay, next pa. Ayan. Ito yung instrument. Ito yung tool nyo, no? No, Irish?
Yes po.
Si Irish
Yes
lang
po.
na ko. Okay, ito yung tool natin. Kasi ano to parang quality sige, next na yan. Next na. Wala na ako masyadong ano dyan. Yung mga ibang question lang talaga na hindi na ano, kasi parang tumataliwas na sila sa kung anong gusto nating makuhang sagot, no? Especially dun sa challenges, no? Eto, nagkakaroon na ng introducing sex and health education. Pwede ito sa ano, sa program, no? Do meron tayo niyan. What do you think the cost? Doon sa cost, parang 'di ba? Parang ibang study na naman siya doon sa cost ng ano natin, ng teenage pregnancy. So ang dami nyong na-cater na study para sa particular study na gusto nyong kunin. Pero maganda nakuha niyo yung result. Wala namang ano. Pero yung suggestion ko nga, more on awareness muna tayo tapos doon sa program, no? Ayun. At saka doon sa halimbawa dito yung cost, nakita natin yung cost, no? Halimbawa doon sa sinabi kanina, yung pag-inom-inom, di anong pwedeng gawin ng programa ng Department of Education o ng barangay para maiwasan ang pag-iinom ng mga kabataan yan. 'Di ba? Pwede tayong magka-liquor ban sa mga kabataan. Pwede tayong magkaroon ng program regarding sa kahit na maging maarte, halimbawa doon sa paraan ng pagbili ng alak, 'di ba? May consent, 'di ba? Kasi magiging responsible diyan hindi lang kayo as gumawa, hindi lang yung mga kabataan as gumawa, maging yung mga parent na ng mga bata. Hinayaan nila na yun nga, bumili kung kailangan natin. Next. Sige po, next. Ayan. Okay. Yung best advice, tingnan natin yung best advice. Ano yung best advice? Halimbawa, nabuntis ka nung best advice mo na parang pang Q&A siya na ng pang Miss Universe, di ba? Ano yung best advice na pwede mong ibigay sa mga kabataan, future kabataan na ganyan, di ba? Parang, paano ko sasabihin? Pwede natin paghugutan ng yung mga advice nila, ng program, no? Na pwede nating anuhin. Okay. So, yun lang yung sa akin, no? Do maganda yung study nyo, nakita nyo na ito yung mga possible cause ng pagbubuntis, maagang pagbubuntis ng bata, no? Pero sana dun sa awareness muna tayo para ma-prevent ang ganito. Kasi alam ng bata, dapat malaman ng bata kung bakit ganito, bakit ganyan. Kailangan nating matukoy yung pinag-uugatan. Di ba? Hindi lang kaagad na, ang tawag dito, hindi basta-basta decrease yung rate ng teenage pregnancy lalo na sa particular barangay natin. No? Kasi hindi natin sila nakikita. Okay? So, yun lang. Pero all in all, congratulations sa inyo. Yung ibang panelists naman po.
Thank you, Sir Richmond. That was very timely and duly noted. I would like to remind everybody that this session is also recorded for case studies in the future and for review post-conference for the learners. Thank you, sir. Ma'am Josie or Sir Marvin, anybody can start for the second question or next question.
Yes, sir. Good morning again. So, ako siguro yung pa-take note na lang po. Paano nyo na-conduct or paano nyo nakuha yung mga respondents ninyo? Di ba sabi niyo through Messenger or Google Meet lang. So, saan yun? Paano nyo nakalap ang mga to? Ilan ba yung 20 respondents, di ba? Yung ginamit ninyo?
Yes po.
O, paano nyo sila nakilala?
So, some of them po, mga kaibigan namin, kakilala, ganun, friends, family friends, ganun po.
So,
friends of friends, ganun po.
So, hindi lahat, na-determine nyo ba na lahat po ba sila is nag-aaral?
Yes po.
Okay, so, yun nga, kalap kayo, nangalap. So, iba-iba yung pinanggalingan po ng study po ninyo. So, maganda yung tanong ay sinabi ni Sir na hindi lamang po dapat ang mga babae ang mga tinutukan po ninyo about dito sa kasi decrease po tayo, paano natin mapapababa, di ba? So, lumilitaw kasi na ang madalas na nasisisi dito kapag teenage pregnancy is yung babae, which is dalawa naman silang gumawa dito sa ganitong bagay. So, pakitake note po, mas maganda po sana kung hindi lang po babae yung kinuha nating respondents para makita po natin or sana in-indicate na lang po natin. Kasi pang-generalize po kasi siya eh. So, hindi lang po dapat tumutukoy sa isang kasarian kung bakit lumitaw ang ganito po. So, pa-take note na lang po. And then, sa akin po siguro, doon sa age of 16, ayan, so sila po yung pinaka may malaking tawag dito. Sila yung pinaka apektado kasi at the age of 16 is nandun na po sila doon mulat na po sila sa ganitong tawag dito, sex. So, maganda po siguro kung yun nga, dapat po, dahil nga below, underage po sila, sana nagpakita po kayo ng mga, yun nga, sa concern po, meron po tayong parents consent po na ipinakita po sana para maging aware po sila or sana, para mas maging valid po siya kasi pwede kasi tayo magkaroon ng kaso pag ganito eh. Di po ba? Kasi nga, bigla lang tayo nag-conduct ng questionnaire or ng research na nasa underage po sila. Ayan po. So dito po, bilang po sa mga halos kababaihan po ang ating mga gumawa ng research, kayo po, ano po naging impact po sa inyo ng ganitong resulta?
Okay, I think everybody can answer that. All girls kayo. Go ahead, Irish. Tapos si Jeff, tapos si Laika.
Paulit po yung question, sorry.
Anong impact daw ng research? Anong na-feel nyo sa nalaman nyo sa research ninyo?
Sir, feel bad because kasi po sa batang edad nilang ganun, napapasok sila agad sa hirap ng buhay kasi minsan natatanong ko kay mama kung gaano kahirap yung may anak ganun. Yun, parang 50% ng buhay mo sa kanila.
Yes, sir.
So, yun.
Kasi na po na mag-aral, yung pinaano po nila is yung mga binabantayan nila yung mga anak nila, imbis na kasama nila yung mga friends nila or mga family nila, imbis na ma-enjoy nila yung pagiging teenager nila. Yun po. Tsaka po dito po by conducting this study po, na-realize po namin na sobrang sobrang hirap po talaga na pinagdadaanan po ng mga teenage, especially po dun sa mga 16 years old po. Kasi po wala pa silang enough knowledge po about sa having sex po. Nag-aano na lang po sila ng mga nag-engage po sila sa sexual activity without knowledge po na ganito ang mangyayari sa kanila. Saka po, yung sa mga respondents po namin, opo, halos po karamihan sa kanila is babae, pero may mga lalaki din po na nag-ano doon. Pero, tsaka sinabi lang po nila na wag daw po ipakita yung mga
Name?
Opo. Tsaka yung bago po kami nag-ask po ng question is naghingi po kami ng permission about kung pwede po ba namin sila ma-interview po.
Based po sa kwento ng mama ko, yung based po sa experience namin, yung mama ko po kasi, syempre nung kabataan po siya, 18 years old po siya, nung pinanganak niya po yung kuya ko, which is yung panganay po namin. Based po sa experience niya, yung advice niya po sa amin, since parehas na po kami ng kuya ko na may boyfriend and girlfriend na po kami. So, yung advice niya po sa amin, para po ma-aware kami sa preventing ng teenage pregnancy, hindi niya po, since ako po talaga nasa minor age pa po, so hindi niya po ako pinapayagan na sumama sa boyfriend ko na which is yung mag-date, lumabas-labas, ganyan. Nasa bahay lang po kami, and kapag po nandito po yung boyfriend ko, lagi po nandito yung mama ko, hindi niya po ako pinapayagan na kaming dalawa lang ng boyfriend ko. So, dun po nape-prevent yung teenage pregnancy on my experience. Ganun po siya kahigpit, and yung advice niya po sa amin lagi na lagi po kaming matakot sa Diyos, since bawal po yun. Isa po yun sa mga aral. Pangalawa po is yung respeto po sa parents. Since syempre po pinapag-aral po kami, so respeto na lang po sa kanila bilang bilang mabuting anak na hindi po namin gagawin yung ganung bagay.
So po,
Tapos
para po
Tapos po, bilang respeto na rin po sa sarili, since syempre po meron na pong opportunity para para makapag-aral kami, so bakit pa po namin gagawin yung ganong bagay? Kaya po, number 3 po yung respect sa sarili. Syempre po, sino po ba namang tao yung may ayaw na magandang kinabukasan? Kaya po, ganun po, na respeto rin po sa sarili na kailangan matapos muna na sa pag-aaral bago po gawin yung ganong bagay. Yun po yung madidecrease yung teenage pregnancy.
Thank you, Laika.
Di ba po nalaman nila na po yung awareness kung paano po ma-decrease yung Pag nalaman na po kasi na namin yung mga awareness, yung mga kung paano yung effect at saka impact nun sa society at saka sa sarili natin. Doon po natin mapapasok po natin yung paano natin ma-decrease ang teenage pregnancy po. Kasi 'di ba manalalaman na natin yung mga effect at saka impact na yun. Pag nalaman po natin yun is may knowledge na po tayo para po mabawasan po na maging buntis po yung babae or di kaya lalaki, yung babae pala.
Okay. Thank you, Jeff. Mabuntis yung lalaki na. Carlos, ikaw ang kaisa-isang lalaki dito. Narinig mo yung mga damdamin ng kaklase mo. Ikaw naman, anong comment mo?
I think, sir, it's alarming and disappointing, sir. Alarming kasi year by year parang nanonormalize na yung teenage pregnancy. Parang okay na yun sa mga couples na underage. And disappointing, sir, kasi society natin dehumanize nila yung mga tao. Parang tingin sa kanila hindi tao, na nagkamali rin sila, na gumawa ng gumawa ng ganyan.
Mm,
Kasi sabi ng mga relatives ko, sir,
mm,
pag yung may mga anak na bata pa lang may mga anak na, sabi nila malandi,
mm,
and parang unggoy daw, lagi silang nag-ano, and parang disappointing kasi, sir,
mm.
yung ganun na mindset, kaya parang dumadami rin yung mga teenage, ay underage na nagkaka-baby. Yun lang, sir.
Okay, thank you. So meron ang kay Carlos yung effect, 'di ba? Hindi lang
Yes, sir.
physical, financial effect, yung effect ng society sa kanila, perception. Go ahead, Sir Richmond.
Ang ganda ng comment ni Carlos. Pwedeng study din 'yon na na parang lived experiences ng mga nabuntis sa isang particular na society.
Mm,
Yung nakukuha nilang judgment, ayan, interview na naman 'yan.
mm.
Mas okay 'yon. Ayan, 'yun lang.
Thank you. Thank you, Sir Richmond. Ma'am Josie, would that be all?
Okay po, congratulations sa mga nag-present po today.
Thank you. And Sir Marvin? Sir Marvin, naka-mute po kayo. Baka hindi kayo. Ay, wala siya. Okay. So next, okay, before you leave the session, anak, would you like to personally thank our panelists? And then you can leave the call. Go ahead, one by one.
Thank you po. Uh,
Sir Hello, thank you po for your suggestion lahat.
thank you po kay Sir Rich po at saka po sa mga panel po na nandito kayo po ng mga question po. Mas maano pa po yung staff.
From
Salamat po sa mga advice. Magagamit po namin to sa paparating na college or whatever man po.
Okay. Thank you to class and thank you for participating. Napaka-mature nyo. Nakakashock yung mga sagot nyo. Sige.
Thank you din,
Ah,
sir. Thank you
okay.
po.
Okay, ingat. God bless. Congrats. Uy, mag-graduate na sila. Oh. Sige, next
Sure na,
session.
sir. Thank you po.
Next class. Next one. Olazo, may magre-present? Mikala?
Sir, wait lang. Ay, pero magpresenta sila.
Sige po.
Meron akong delivery sa labas. Kukunin ko lang.
Sige po. No problem.
Yes po, sir.
Meron.
Hindi ka po yung mag-share screen.
Okay. May lesade si Sir. Ano kayang binili ni Sir? Anytime you're ready, you can begin.
Sir, wait.
No problem.
Full screen, change that out. Share screen, your entire screen. Nakikita po.
Hindi pa siya.
Sir, wait.
Okay. Ako na lang. Gusto mo?
Sige po, sir.
Okay. Para ano na lang, tuloy-tuloy kayo mag group 3, right? Okay.
Opo.
Okay. Anytime you're ready. Nakamute kayo niyan. If somebody's talking, I think you're on mute. You can now proceed with the presentation or the dialogue. Nakamute Lin. Hold on. Let me chat you. Ayun, okay na. Michaela, na-mute ka if you're the one who will do the first one.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning po.
Good morning po.
Good morning. Go ahead. Welcome back, Sir Richmond. We are about to start.
Good morning. We are Group 3 and our research entitled Factors Influencing Impulsive Buying Amidst Pandemic.
Nakamute.
I'm sorry for the some noises po.
That's okay.
Impulsive buying. Anyone can possess this behavior. It can be a mother who is mainly the financial manager of the family, someone who is financially stable, or just an individual who loves shopping. But for us, as the researchers, we choose teenager. Why? Simply because we can easily fit in the situation. And we're currently living in the modern society, which brought a different medium to purchase something. Since the COVID-19 occurrence, millennials has been inclined to shopping that leads to excessive purchasing of items that is neither necessities or wants. Given that social media mainly influence the teenager into new trends by making an advertisement, commercial, and boosting brand endorsement. In addition to this, applications such as Shopee, Lazada, Shein, Zalora, and any other apps that is applicable in the Philippines are popular among millennials. As the novel coronavirus changed a lot in our daily lives and behavior, the first one is development of the personal computers and internet, which enable people to purchase impulsive independent of time and place. The second factor is revolution from mobile games to smartphones. As what I said earlier, due to uh, we're living in the modern society, which technology is dominant. And since the pandemic occurrence, we're dependent to this. So mainly, the effect of this uh, is the sprouting of different uh, platform. There are several factors that affect the customer to buy the product impulsively. It assume that the situational factors in relation to the individual and store would influence the person's desire as well as the genuine impulsive buying behavior. On analyzing various studies, promotional measures were identified as the most impacting factor in the buying behavior of the respondents, which included the price, discount, and special offers which are provided at the place of scale. Sir, next slide. So for the input, questionnaires are included to gather the information. Respondents, which serve as the main instrument for the study. Letter for ESP for the permission and RL for the resources. For the process, sending an online survey. Since we cannot go out for the face-to-face survey, we send the questionnaire through virtual. Meeting up with the teammates, obviously we don't meet personally due to protocols and the current pandemic, the current virus. So we brainstorm through a social media platform. Okay. Consultation with Mr. Austria for the revision of the study, and output will be the result for the survey and the conclusion and recommendation. So, what are the reason why teenager buy a product impulsively? This is for the uh, statement of the problem. Social media advertisement. We all know that social media has a huge part of everything we do, including purchasing. So we include the social media advertisements as the reason why the teenager buy impulsively. Trending products and market. Millennials nowadays buy things that they see online that is trending or viral, whether it's related to fashion or something they want to purchase. Pricing sale of the product. Nowadays, teenagers don't wait for their birthdays. Instead, they wait for the monthly sale, such as 7/7 for the Shopee, Lazada. Mm, The family influence. Okay, family influence. Uh, if you see something that any family member brought a thing, you will be interested and you can be impulsive buyer. So how will the teenager rate their overall buying experience? Since we primarily purchase things through an online platform, we usually rated if the product reach our expectation, it will make us buy the product.
So, me and my teammates decided to choose the action research since our topic is about teenagers and to understand what is happening in a specific district and to determine what might improve teenagers' lifestyle in that settings. Let us now proceed into the Let us now proceed into the instrument. In this part, we could see all the questions that we conduct to proceed to our survey. All the questions that were made are related to the topic and made the survey only to the teenagers.
Will I proceed or?
Wait,
Uh-huh.
ako na to. Before I explain the next slide, I will introduce myself first. My name is Michaela Garcia, and I will discuss the data collection procedure. This part is the must include interviews, documentary, and observation. But due to pandemic, face-to-face interaction is prohibited. Therefore, we, the researchers, created surveys questionnaire by online platform and gave the questionnaire through online for the sake of the safety of the respondents and researchers. Data
Data collection.
Ano po, little bit napag-next, slow down.
Okay. Saan tayo?
data collection procedure.
Okay.
Our data collection procedure, the target of our research is must be teenager age 17 to 19 years old, and they have been experienced excessive buying in the midst of pandemic. Must be resident of barangay sa palibot at Angeles City. They possess sufficient knowledge about impulsive buying. Next slide. Data analysis. This chapter or part, the data analysis, we the researcher evaluate, summarize, and analyze each part of the answer of our respondents. By doing it through software, we calculate the percentage of how many respondents gave their answer in particular choices. Data analysis, this chapter contains a wide range of research questions, example, show varying levels of detail in terms of experiment designs and statistical analysis. The number and types of example were chosen after consulting with a number of practitioners. It was attempt to include a lot of detailed explanation of teenager impulsive purchases. Some comment appear for each form of each issue in other areas that could be solved using the same method. Next slide po. And these are the graphs that we put in our research in data analysis. The first question is, how did you know about the product you are buying? This graph manifests the result regarding the platform where the people influenced to purchase a product. It shows that 85% of the consumer know the product they are buying through social media, and 15% are recommended by a friend. Next slide.
Okay. Hold on.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
And our next question is, what are the factors that influence you in purchasing a product? The graph presents the data about the factors that influence them to buy a product. It shows that sales or promo is mainly influence them, followed by social media advertisement and family influence. Next. Our next question is, what type of product do you usually purchase? The graph shows the product they primarily purchase. It presents that among the determined respondent clothing are mostly acquired, followed by the food beauty products, and less obtained is gadgets. Our the next question is, excuse how often did you purchase things you just saw online? In this graph, it shows how often the purchase a product online. The outcome presents that teenagers are sometimes interested to purchase a product virtually, followed by never. The next is, do you trust the product reviews and feedback on online selling shops? The graph shows the people trust from the product reviews and feedbacks on online shop. It indicates from the teenagers being surveyed that they sometimes trust it. Next is, how much do you normally spend in purchasing a product? Based on the graph, it shows that teenagers primarily spend money up to 200 pesos, followed by 500 and 1,000 above. Plan for dissemination and advocacy. The study aimed to determine the factors influencing impulsive buying among teenagers. It involves the excessive purchasing of items that is neither necessities or wants. This pandemic made us more dependent to technology and social media platforms, especially the Generation Z. As the result, consumers who are teenagers present different decision making for different products. The occurrence of pandemic emerged the impulsive buying, especially to the teenagers, considering the necessities and essential needs, are important, particularly in the time of pandemic, wherein most of our respondents choose social media in knowing the products that they purchase for the reason of social media can deeply affect consumer massive purchasing, especially the teenagers. Managing a proper budgeting is significant when preparing the adulthood. It is really an edge to every individual. Spending less to social media can decrease the excessive buying since this one of a huge factor that influences impulsive buying. In this part, plan for dissemination and advocacy must address the we put that we must address the purpose of our study on how can we prevent the problem, which is impulse buying. In these findings, those who will use this information can use or it will help them to get the message of the result of the study or the research.
That's it?
That's it, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll give the floor to the panelists po. Go ahead, sir. Thank you.
Okay. um, ano ang tawag dito? How do you define impulsive buying? Micaela. Ay, sige. Anyone?
Sir, can I answer? I'm Nina.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Impulsive buying is excessive buying of things that is not in your budget frame.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So lahat ba? Okay. Lahat ba ng mga respondents natin talagang impulsive buying sila o sila yung binili na lang yung gamit kasi kailangan siya? Kasi magkaiba 'yon, no? Magkaibang concept 'yon. Na hindi porket gumagamit siya ng Shopee, Lazada, impulsive buying na siya. No? Okay. Anyone?
Mostly po sa kanila, yung mga bumibili po ng mga bagay na unnecessary po.
Mostly. So not all.
Opo.
Yes, sir. Kaya po we decided na maging target respondents namin teenager kasi bukod sa ma-fit namin yung situation sa sarili namin since teenager din kami. And karamihan po sa teenager, puro wants. I mean, luho lahat yung binibili. So, that's why, yun yung pinili naming target respondents.
Okay. That's connected to my second question. No? Sino ang nagpo-provide niyan ng pera para maging impulsive buyer tayo? Nagiging impulsive buyer ba ang isang particular na buyer kung siya mismo walang pera?
Some of our respondents po, sir, are working student wherein meron po silang mga budget na pera para pambili sa mga bagay na gusto lang nila. And,
okay, is that indicated in your study? Hindi ko kasi narinig kanina. Kaya tinatanong ko siya.
Anybody can answer?
Kasi napansin ko lang yung, ayan, bumibili sila, something na ganun lang yung idea, no? Pero magkaiba kasi yung pagiging impulsive buyer natin. Pagiging ang tawag dito, binibili natin yung mga bagay na maaaring hindi natin kailangan. No? At saka dun sa mga factors, patingin ng checklist ninyo, anak, ng questionnaire na ginamit ninyo regarding this. Okay po. May mga different factors kasi, 'di ba? Pwede dun sa factors, hindi ko alam pero ito yung idea ko, pwedeng sigurong 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, halimbawa sa product category. Okay? Nakita ko yung product kasi ganito siya. Okay? Nakita ko yung product kasi ganyan siya. Ayan. Hindi lang siya ganito na questionnaire na mag-shade lang, pipili lang sila ng ganyan, no? Para ma-identify talaga natin yung mga different factors. Kada identifier, meron silang mga descriptors. Halimbawa, sa product category, no? Pwedeng sabihin doon na nagiging impulsive buyer ako kasi nakita ko yung product kasi maganda, nakita ko yung product na ganyan-ganyan, okay? Tapos doon sa number 2, okay? Na number 2, pwede siyang pumasok yung sa financial independence. Nagiging impulsive buyer ako kasi may pera ako, may sweldo ako, kumikita ako ng pera, doon napapasok. No? Hindi lang siya ganito na do you trust the product reviews? Okay? Tapos, ano pa? Doon sa availability of cash. Pwede rin yon, no? Yung mood natin as consumer ng product. Okay? Pwede rin pumasok yun as factors. Tapos sa bawat factors na yan, meron silang descriptors. May mga sentences yan, no, na papasok. Na checklist 5, i-rate lang nila yung kung paano sila nagiging impulsive buyer. Nakuha nyo. Tapos pwede rin yung sa promotion ng product, papasok na dyan yung sa Facebook na sinabi nyo kanina, sa social media. Okay, next, anong pinagkaiba ng no at never? Hindi ko alam. Okay, next. Ayan, yung mga dito sa very satisfied, ibang parang anong tawag dito, parang papasok na siya sa ibang topic. Halimbawa doon sa level of satisfaction ng impulsive buyer sa isang particular na product, sa products. Okay? Parang iba na. Ayun lang ang suggestion ko. Sana gumawa tayo ng checklist o kung merong mga study na gano'n, nag-modify tayo o kaya nag-adapt tayo ng checklist para makita natin, ma-test natin yung mga factors na yon, talaga mataas sila para ma-identify natin, no? Ito factor to. Number 1 factor ito. Ito number 2 factor ng isang pagiging impulsive buyer ng isang individual. Sige po, next pa. How often? At saka, tingnan kasi parang pag gano'n, no? Pansinin natin, kapag gano'n, magkakaroon siya ng correlation. Doon, hindi na, wag na. Mahirap na yan. Next. Ayan. Pagkatapos, ano pa? Pwede nating include doon yung kung ilang beses silang bumibili ng product in a week or in a month. Okay? Pwede nating isama doon. At saka kung ano ang implication ng study ninyo sa mga kabataan na naging impulsive buyer sila. Okay? Yun yung suggestion ko lang. No? Para kahit paano, kasi hindi ko nakita kung ano yung mga factors talaga na naging dominant sa study ninyo. Naipakita nyo lang yung mga iba't ibang questions na pwedeng sagutin ng mga respondents natin in a way na mapapakita natin through graph. Pero mas maigi sana na magkaroon ng descriptors tulad nga na sinabi ko kanina, checklist na may descriptors sa baba. Na yung 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, gagamit tayo ng Likert scale. Okay? So, ano pa? Sige, wala na siguro akong masasuggest pa. Yun lang ang suggestion ko, no? Doon nasagot nyo naman ang pagiging impulsive, meaning ng impulsive buying. No? Tapos, ito, target respondents natin. Para maging konti ang natin, ayan, buong barangay naman pala. Okay, okay na yung buong barangay sa palibutan. Okay. Okay na po ako doon. Yun lang ang suggestion ko. More on suggestion na lang ako para lalong mag-improve yung niya.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Ma'am Josie, do you have any questions po?
Yes, sir. Good morning again. So, yun sa akin, lahat po ba ng nandito na gumawa ng kanilang research is may job po ba? O pure student lang po sila?
Student po.
So, lahat po kayo students, tama po ba ako? Gaya po ng inyong sagot. So, dito, buti po, ito po yung pinili ninyong gawing research po. Kasi, when we say we are students, nakadepende pa rin tayo sa mga magulang po natin kasi eh. So, wala pa tayo talagang income. Wala pa tayong pinaghuhugutan o pinagkukuhanan po ng ating income. And then, buti, ito po yung naisip po ninyo gawin na research po.
Class, anybody can answer? Bakit daw ito yung pinili ng research nyo samantalang hindi pa tayo nagwo-work, mga students pa lang? Rainer or Michaela or Ninya?
Actually, it's stated po na sa aming data collection procedure 17 to 19. Yung iba po, it's just enable to provide from their self, tapos they can purchase something that they want. But actually, pwede pong bumili, pero due to ganito nga po, sa modern society nakita nila, tapos yung mga factor na nag-state namin, katulad ng social media, kaya tapos mga ibang platform, dun po nagiging excessive, dun po pumapasok yung pagiging impulsive buyer.
Rainer or Michaela, do you have any answer also? I think you're on mute. Baka nagsasalita kayo nakamute.
Pinili po kasi namin yung impulsive buying among students kasi some students po meron po mga yung mga nagwo-work po as a student. So, meron po silang mga income na minsan, meron hindi po nakakaipon dahil po sa mga influence ng social media na yung iba po influence po ng social media sa pagbili ng mga ibang bagay dahil trending, ganito. So, yung ano po namin na naisip, kaya po impulsive buying is yung po mga student worker na meron po mga pera na in case po na dapat nakakaipon po sila is parang na-attract po sila sa mga trending na mga bagay na pwedeng bilhin.
Oo, kasi nakita ko yung ano ninyo kanina, yung ginamit yung doon sa spend, how many, o magkano yung na-spend nila kapag bumibili sila. Kasi ang pinakamarami is nasa average, nasa 500 kung iisipin po natin. At tapos kanina tinanong po sa inyo kung lahat po ba ng respondents po natin ay nagtatrabaho? So sabi niyo po ay hindi. So kumukuha lang po sila ng income nila ay base po sa kanilang magulang. Ganun po siya natanong na kung based doon siguro sa ano po sa impulsive kasi nakita po natin yung pagbili po ng pag online kasi, kahit nga po ako, hindi ko madalas ginagamit. Kahit sabihin po natin na we purchase, pero iniisip pa rin po natin saan natin kukunin yung pambayad. Yun po yung gusto ko i-emphasis dito na yung kung saan ang ginamit po natin, mas applicable siguro ito doon sa mga nagtatrabaho talaga. Na kung saan, doon po natin ma-determine po talaga. At yun nga, sabi nga ni Sir kanina, gaano nga ba sila kadalas mag-purchase po ng kanilang mga binibili po through online po. Pwede po kasing weekly, pwedeng monthly. So, dapat po makita rin po natin yun sa study. So, kasali po dapat yun sa factors. Although, siguro napaka-iksi lang po nung panahon para po i-gather po lahat ng ganong factor po. So, yun po, as a student po, dahil nga sabi nyo, kayo ay mga estudyante pa lamang. Kayo po ba ay nakakaranas ng ganito po bang pagbili online?
Yes, actually, ma'am, kaya we choose this This title, kasi state ko po kanina, as I said earlier, kasi we can easily fit in this situation po. Since teenager po kami at pasok po kami sa range ng 17 to 19 na teenager from sa palibutan. And actually po, minsan po dahil teenager nga po kami, minsan aggressive po kami sa pagde-decide sa mga bagay, including po yung pag-purchase. So, minsan po kapag na-attract po kami, nakikita po namin yung isang bagay. Napapabili po kami nang hindi po talaga nakalagay sa budget free.
Yes, sir. Okay na po.
Ako comment lang dun sa sagot ni tandaan natin, we cannot generalize na being a teenager, impulsive tayo sa lahat. No? Kung sasabihin natin yon, dapat may supporting article tayo, no? Kasi not all. Pwedeng not all, pwedeng all, no? Ganun siya. Yun lang.
Thank you, Sir Richman, and thank you, Ma'am Josie. Okay. Just
Sir,
sige.
pahaba na lang po.
Opo,
Siguro yung may dadagdag ko na lang po, mai-distinguish na lang po natin siguro po kung sino po yung nagtatrabaho at hindi nagtatrabaho para makita po natin kung yung po bang doon sa impulsive po, sino nga ba ang mas maraming napapurchase po sa kanila. Okay po, sige po.
Noted po, working and not working. Thank you po.
Yes po, kapag nagganon siya, correlation na po, i-correlate natin dun sa mga variables natin. Pero okay lang. Okay lang din po.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you so much for the technical assistance for our students and for our school, Sir Richmond and Ma'am Josie. So before we leave our session, group number 3, would you like to thank each one by one our panel? Then you can leave the session. Michaela?
Ayaw na yata nila magsalita.
Hello po, thank you po for all the panelists and especially kay Sir Pop for indicating this time.
You're welcome. Okay. Thank you, Michaela. Hindi ka sayang yung business attire mo, hindi ka nag-on cam.
Nakalimutan ko.
Sobrang nervous, no? Hindi niya na. Oh, that's okay. Nina, go ahead.
Thank you po. Siguro kailangan lang namin maging concise. Tapos, be more specific sa target respondent. Tapos, include po namin yung mga advice niya which indicate nga po kung nag-work sila or not. So, dapat po pala ilagay namin sila sa mismong SOP, sa mismong demographic profile ng tao para maging specific. Tapos, malagay namin yung kulang.
Yes. Kapag ganun na tandaan nyo, hindi, kapag gumamit tayo ng demographic profile, dapat may esensya sa buong research. Hindi lang kukunin natin yung data. Magagamit yung data na yon para sa ibang question pa. Ganun siya. No? Pag ganon, medyo mahirapan kayo, pero okay lang. At least natututo tayo. Congratulations pa rin.
Thank you, sir. Okay, and last but not the least, the boy among the girls, Rainer.
Thank you po kay Sir Jotam tsaka sa mga panelists po. And iti-take ko po yung advice nyo.
Very good. Okay, you can now leave the session and congratulations.
Sir, tanong lang po dito, Faith, no?
Opo, Faith po.
Thank you po.
Thank you, sir. Okay, you can now leave the session. Unless you want to still join in, that's okay. Micaela, Rainer, and Lina.
Pwede ko mag-clarify ng konti.
O sige, pwede ka magtanong, anak. Go ahead.
Did we need to conduct another survey?
No need na. Sorry.
Ay, sige, sir. It depends on the information you need. Like if you're gonna add more questions, like the working, non-working, or if you're able to identify them through your survey, and then we'll talk about that post-con. No, so for the revisions, but definitely if you're gonna do some changes in the SOP, and then you're gonna revise certain questions, then the content will totally change. Especially sabi nga ni Sir Richman, if it's gonna be correlational, then it's gonna add more data to it, add more, the formula, the instrument is gonna a bit altered. So I hope that answers your question, and we can talk about that in postcon. We have to be sure first of the type of revision we're gonna do in order for us, kasi graduation yun na next week, okay? So I have to finalize your grade by the end of this week. So we're gonna see if we can kick in more revisions and the pertinent data that we need to include based on the expert technical support of Sir Richman and Ma'am Josie, then that will suffice. So we're gonna plan after this session, okay? Nina?
Okay po.
Okay. Ang gatal na buntok ko.
Oo, intay ko muna. Jay, kapag dinagdagan niyo pa.
Oo. So, yun, oo. Okay.
Mag-ano na lang po kami, direct
Mm.
message sa inyo if mayroon po kami questions.
Okay, okay. So may comment dito before we proceed with the next step. Okay, no need revision space sa comment. At nakuha nyo naman ang sagot prior to your interview and questions. No need na. Okay. Yay! Okay, so there's gonna just be some minor changes then and some revisions. Thank you. Thank you, Sir Richmond and Ma'am Josie. Okay, next group. Would you like to present or will I present your PowerPoint?
Thank you po, sir.
Okay, you can leave the session if you want to, but if you want to learn more, you can stay.
Sir, pwede mag-stay.
Okay. Mute ka lang na. Okay, sino magpe-present group 4? Last group. Ako na lang. Para ano? O para nagsasalita na lang kayo. At hindi na kayo naabere. Group number 4, the last group for the morning session. Oops. I have to close the other one. Okay, group 3. Okay, I'm hearing some feedback. Double microphone. Okay, let's present the screen. Buti na schedule natin yung defense natin. Ang bilis ng graduation. Okay, all set up. Let's wait for the screen to pop up presenting. There you go. Anytime you want to start, you can start.
Good morning po. We are Group 4 and our title is The Effectiveness of Social Media in Distance Learning Among Senior High School Students. So, to start our introduction, let me call on Daniela Tonito.
Daniela, baka nakamute ka. Nakamute ka, Daniela. Yeah.
Good morning po. Again, good morning po.
Baka dalawang device ang ginagamit nyo or magkatabi kayo ng kasama mo na, kaya nagfi-feedback.
Yung isa, i-mute muna yung kanyang device para hindi siya nagkaroon ng echo. Kung magkatabi kayo, isang phone pwede. Ipasa mo na lang yung phone.
Wait lang.
Okay. Naka-headset pa naman ako, masakit sa tenga, tagos hanggang sa utak. Pag nagfi-feedback. Yes, sir.
Nakamute daw po, sir.
Okay. Siguro mag-share na lang kayo ng cellphone. I-leave muna yung isa.
Okay,
Si
sir.
Sheila. Ayun, yun. Sheila, magkatabi kayo. Yun na lang cellphone mo ang gamitan mo. Parang mas maliwanag yung sayo.
Okay,
Oo.
sir.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Yung kay Daniela kasi medyo malabo. Okay. Go ahead. Nakamute ka, ah, Daniela, ha? Kung gamit mo yung cellphone ni Sheila, hindi na naririnig.
Sir, kita po ba?
Yes, perfect. Mhm.
Yes. So let's proceed po. Again, I'm Daniela Tinido on behalf of our Group 4. So allow me po to share our introduction. So in we include in introduction is we all know that technology has very influential today, and there are a lot of advantages and disadvantages when using social media. And I again po, our topic pala is the effectiveness of social media in distance learning among senior high school students. So there are a lot of advantages when we are using social media, and it's because of that many app has been released, and it's very beneficial. And right now we are experiencing new normal, which is pandemic, and uh, I will prove that social media is widely used nowadays in terms of work, shop, and other businesses that um, using social media. And technology is a very great help to make everything much easier. We all know that it's a part of advantages of social media that we can communicate to other people as long as even they are far away. We can communicate them by easily contacting them in online platform. So yun nga, sorry. And we all know that social media is widely used nowadays, as I said earlier, because technology is influential to the point many older teenagers are using this kind of social media. Even the young people who is the kind of ages na pababa po talaga is na teenager po, na even yung may siblings na as in alam yung easy lang po sa kanila para gumamit. Like nakakakul po sila yung alam nila agad gamitin kahit walang nagtuturo, yung mga ganun po. So, nasasabi po namin na kaya po effectiveness of social media din, and because we want to focus din po um, what is the effects, or what is the effect in terms of mental health to the studies na estudyante and sa work po. So yun po. So dun po sa let's proceed po sa introduction. Sa part po ng introduction, we have the RRL, review retaliatory so your RR sorry. Sorry sir, kinakabahan lang ako.
Relax lang, kinakain mo na yung words.
So yun po, we have RRL. We seek or find 10 RRL, and this is the sum of the RRL we gathered. So the first is as stated by Harry and Gunawan. So this is all about our topic, to support our topic po. And findings imply that the social media provided opportunities and benefits for every student and teachers in learning resources like demonstration, learning files, etc. So yun nga po, and as I have said earlier po, the benefits po ng social media. Hindi lang po sa estudyante, kundi nga po sa teachers na nag-a-adjust din po dahil sa pandemic, sa new normal ngayon. And nakakatulong daw po siya by sharing or demonstration learning files sa mga estudyante. And it is very beneficial po talaga na may social media ginagamit based nga po doon kay Harry and Gunawan. So second po, as stated by Prison and Louis, yung 2012, social media, particularly Facebook. So we all know naman po na Facebook is very yung app po talaga na Facebook, parang yun po talaga yung mas widely used sa platform ng social media na sa Facebook din po, yun nga po na have been praised as promise to deliver a new socially engaged educational experiences for students. So sa Facebook din po, we students and teachers, we communicate well by using Messenger po. Na napatunayan din po dito sa RL namin na yun nga po, na Facebook po ang kadalasan ginagamit ng estudyante na habang nag-aaral sila, habang para makipag-communicate, easy to communicate to teachers. Yun po. So, ayun po, lastly po, sa some of our RRL, um, yun po, as per the involvement of distant education is just in time to collide with modern pedagogy, the communication, interaction, student engagement, and active learning are critically important. So, for the word po, critically important po, so, nauso po nga yung distant education na ngayon pandemic. And napatunayan po dito na mahalaga po yung communication ng estudyante and teacher sa gitna po ng distance education. And yun nga po na yung communication po, yung engagement and student interaction to teacher is very important po to know po na yun nga po, dun din po malalaman yung effectiveness of social media. So yun po, let's proceed po to other part of introduction.
So under introduction po, we have scope and limitation. We put the effectiveness of social media in distance learning because we want to know what are the impacts of social media in our learnings, especially now in pandemic. We mostly use social media in passing our outputs or attend online classes via Google Meet or Zoom meeting. So we know that there are side effects of on using social media. So we want to know what are they by conducting this research. Next, we put the online survey. We selected students in senior high school to know their to find out their experience in our topic. Under introduction, we also have conceptual framework. In conceptual framework, we have input, process, and output. In input, we have generating the questions. We make questionnaires so we can get information regarding our topic. And next, we respondents. We chose 20 senior high school students to and surveyed online. And lastly, internet connection. We put this in our input because we the researchers send our questionnaires to our respondents made in Google Form. Next, we have process, tally in answers. We tally the results of the questionnaires we made. And next is we surveyed online made by Google Forms. And lastly, we have output. We've already got the findings from our output, so we can get the conclusions of our study. Next, the statement of the problem.
So next po, let's proceed to statement of the problem or research question. So this study entitled The Effectiveness of Social Media in Distance Learning Among Senior High School Students. And the researchers wants to ask an answer to following statements. So first, how does social media help you in distance learning? So in here po, we will know the different ways of how social media contributes to the students, to the learning of the students, in the middle of distance learning. And under the question, and under of that, we have how much time do you spend on social media, and what are the types of social media that helps you in your study. So, every student has their own spending time po, when using social media. And also the question by that is if that time they are spending is enough to help them in doing their activities. And too many social media, as I've said po na, there are so many releases social media app that benefits every areas of their study. So we want to ask po na what are the types or too many social media apps na ano po yung pinaka ginagamit nila para ma-help po sila sa study, ganun. And number two po, how does social media affects the academic performance of students? So, we all know that this they are have different advantages when using social media. And ayun po, what are the advantages and disadvantages? Hindi lang naman po pwedeng advantages lang po yung meron. So there could be disadvantages when using social media. B, do student grades increase when using social media today in distance learning? So questionable din po 'yon. So nilagay din natin. And affecting the academic performance of the student, there could be advantages and disadvantages. And while using social media, what is the result of their grades when they're using social media in distance learning? So may pagbabago po talaga, and because we used to be in the classroom po, so listening to the teachers, and right now 1 year na pong nakalipas na we are experiencing pandemic. So there po talagang changes. So we nalagay po namin yun sa statement of the problem namin. So next po.
In addition po pala, we have significance of the study.
In our introduction po.
Under
Okay.
introduction din po. In our significance of the study po, we benefits the students, teachers, parents, and future researchers. We benefits the students because this will serve as guide for their choose their preferred system, and this will be their they will have knowledge about this. And next is parents, teachers. Sorry. Teachers will have benefits to this research to understand what is becoming the difficult or easy in using social media platforms.
So furthermore po, for our significance of the study, which is the who is the person who benefits our study. So yun po, we have parents. So for the parents po, it will give them idea of how may distance learning works through the use of social media. There could be advantages and disadvantages. Aside from that, this study will give them awareness in deciding or choosing in the right learning system for their child. So yun po, so parents po, magsisilbing din pong guide to yung pag-aaral namin sa kanila, because po they will know what is the right learning they could offer to their children. As of now po, we know that parents are also adjusting to our system right now na meron po talagang masasabi about sa nangyayari na biglang pumalit po yung learning set up po ng pag-aaral. So this will be their guide, and this will be their na magiging benefits po talaga in terms of choosing the right learning system of their child. And lastly po, future researchers. So for the future researchers po, they will if they will tackle the same topic title that they will study, Lord, ito po ang parang meron na po silang guide. Ganun din po guide, and magbe-benefits din po sa dito. So why po? Kasi po we know po na this is we put effort po talaga and if may mag-read man po dito, and we are grateful po, and parang na-help din po namin yung future researchers sa mga mag-aano po, din po na mag-aano. And we are grateful po to kung makakuha po silang idea sa research title namin or research topic. So yun po. Let's proceed po to research.
Let's proceed po to type of research. Let's recall Alan. Alan Kunanan po.
Hello, hello. Rinig po ba ako?
Yes?
Types of research. For our types of research, we chose a descriptive type of research because this includes survey research, where we can find the effectiveness of social media in distance learning. These two keywords, which is the goal and the survey, has a good help to our study. Our goal is to know the effectiveness of social media in distance learning and how can we achieve that. By simply means creating and doing a survey for us to get information to other students. Next slide, please. Respondents. For our respondents, we randomly chose senior high school students from Governor Rafael L. Lazetin Integrated School to answer the surveys through online. Next slide po. For our instrument, we created 5 questions that also based on our SOP. These are the following questions. Number 1, how much time do you spend on social media when doing your activities? Number 2, do you agree that the use of social media is great help to every student's learning, especially in distance learning, and why? Number 3, what kind of platforms in social media you usually use to gather information in your study? Number 4, what do you think are the advantages and disadvantages of using social media in distance learning? And number 5, does social media help you improve your grades in school? Next po. Next po. Sa source of data po.
Wala siya.
Wala.
Okay lang, basahin mo na lang.
Sa source of data po, will be the responses of grade 11 and 12 students. We use messenger chats as the medium to get the responses of these students. Okay na po.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Alan. Data collection?
So, for data collection procedure, we conducted online survey to 20 respondents in Governor Rafael Elazatin Integrated School with the criteria of students must be studying in Grillis or Governor Rafael Elazatin Integrated School. Students should know how to use social media in his or her study, should be active in online meetings, and no undesirable behavior. And the last criteria will be with a good or high grades. Before we provide the Google form, we first send the letter of consent as proof that the respondents consented to the interview. And for the interview process, respondents and interviewers could not meet, so they just talk using the social media app Messenger. Next po. So for data analysis, the question number 1 is, how much time do you spend on social media when doing your activities? 50% of the respondents says 1 to 3 hours, and the 25% says 4 to 6 hours, and they spend in social media. And the other 25% is 7 and above hours. Next po. Second question is, do you agree that the use of social media is a great help to every student's learning, especially in distance learning? 80% yes, and the remaining 20% says no. And we asked them why. And majority of them says because the social media provides the information that they need. Third question po. The third question is, what kind of platform in social media you usually use to gather the information in your study? The 40% of the respondents says they use Google, and the 20% 20% of the respondents says YouTube. And WordPress has 10% of the respondents and 30% of the respondents says other online platforms. Next po.
Anak, ayusin mo to, no? Dapat sunod-sunod siya. Meron 40, 30, 10, 20. Okay.
Next question po is, what do you think are the advantages and disadvantages of using social media in distance learning? Majority of advantages, 40% of the respondents says the majority of advantages in social media is they can relay and legit information, gather more information, and then helps the students to do their work easily, and last, faster communication. And wait lang sir, yung sa kabila po muna. And the other 60%, the disadvantages are, it can be a distraction, social media can cause health problems, and also students may get fake informations and lack of internet connections. The last question is, next. The last question is, does social media helps you improve your grades in school? The 80% says yes, and the 20% says no. Next, po, sir. Next po, sir. Yan. Let's move on to plan of dissemination and advocacy. The purpose of our study is to encourage the students to be positive in using social media for their academic purposes. And our audience is senior high school students. As senior high school students, we want our fellow students to be more understanding in using social media in distance learning. And our message is to stay positive in using social media in distance learning because social media is all over our cell phones. So we can use it in our academic purposes. So I hope that one of us can help ourselves to be more understanding in this situation because this is the only choice that we have. Only the internet can help us during the pandemic. The next po, sir.
Okay, that's the last one. Wala na, reference na. Meron pa ba?
Wala na po, sir.
Okay. So go ahead, Sir Richmond. Kayo pong mauna. Sige po.
Okay, sir. So my first question is, anong meaning ng effectiveness sa inyo?
Anybody
Anyone
can
can
answer, please? Yes. Yuni, anong, or Len, or from the group? Daniela, natutulog yata si Daniela at saka si Sheila. Okay, you can answer the question, please. Siguro yung connection. Nakamute po kayo, anak. Baka hindi, yan, sabi ko na nakamute. Kumakain sila.
Para sa amin po, yung effectiveness is kung gaano ka-apekto po or kung gaano ka successful yung yung
paggamit po ng social media in distance learning. So, yun po, para po sa amin, effectiveness, which means po, kung gaano po, yung magiging successful po yung paggamit nila ng social media in distance learning.
Okay. Sa research kasi, kapag ginamit natin yung word na effectiveness, magte-test siya ng significance o magte-test siya ng effectiveness sa isang particular na product or na output. Okay? Usually, ginagamit natin dito yung mga t-test, yung mga z-test to test the effectiveness nung isang particular na research. Okay? Napansin ko lang kasi kanina na puro advantages and disadvantages ang gusto nyong i-focus. So ngayon, ako ito yung pwede kong i-suggest sa inyo. Papalitan natin yung title ng nasaan na? Advantages and disadvantages of social media as a tool in distance learning. Okay? Yon. Next question ko is dun sa SOP natin. SOP number 1, SOP na. Yung mga question nyo kasi kanina, medyo nalilito na naman ako, no? Pwede yung sa SOP number 1 natin, what are the effectiveness of using chu. Number 2, what are the disadvantages? First question, what are the advantages? Number 2, pwede yung what are the disadvantages? Okay? Number 3, pwede yung mag-isip kayo ng isa, tapos ng number 4, implication. Ngayon, ang napansin ko kasi, dito, paano natin sasagutin yung do the students' grades increase when using social media? Ang question ko doon, paano natin mami-measure yan? Dapat kinakailangan natin ng another data for that. So, anong pwede natin magiging data for that? Pwede natin gawing basis ang grades nila dati. Oo, no, para makita natin kung talagang nag-increase ba yung grade nila ngayon as to compare dati. Kaya lang, no, hindi naman social media ang ginamit nila dati. So paano 'yon? Pwede na nating alisin tong question na 'to. No? Next, paano natin i-define ng social media? Len. Magtatawag na ako. Ang tagal sumagot eh.
Po,
Len.
sir. Opo.
Si Micaela, yan. Okay.
Mga platforms po na ginagamit na parang pang-public po to search informations.
Okay. Magkaiba ang tinatawag nating search engine sa tinatawag nating social media. Usually, ang mga tinatawag nating social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, yung pwede kayong makipag-communication sa mga kaibigan ninyo. Yung ipinakita nyo kanina sa akin, mga search engine yon, mga application, mga platform yon na mga online platform sila, no? Na ginagamit ng mga kabataan. Pero ang mga tinatawag nating social media, yung mga pwedeng makipag-interact, pwedeng makipagkumustahan sa mga kasamahan, pwedeng gamitin natin yon, no? O pwedeng question number 1 yon, kung ano dominant na social media sites na ginagamit ng mga estudyante para sa kanilang distance learning. Okay? Next, dun sa question number 1, halimbawa, what are the advantages? Ay, number 2, halimbawa na lang pala, no? What are the advantages of using social media in distance learning? Number 1, pwede doon sa efficiency. Okay? So, halimbawa, doon sa efficiency, category number 1, hindi category yung tawag eh. May descriptor number 1. Tapos doon, meron na namang the use of social media site helps the student too. Something na ganon. Tapos checklist lang ulit. Para matest natin yung advantages at disadvantages nung matest natin yung level of disadvantages and advantages ng social media sa distance learning. Para hindi na mag-iisa-isa yung mga estudyante. Ano bang advantages nito? Ano bang disadvantages? Bibigyan na natin sila as given. Tapos magiging checklist na lang sila. Next one. Okay, dun sa tinatawag nating conceptual framework. Hindi kasi ganun ang pagpipresent ng conceptual framework natin, no? Hindi siya, ayan. Yan. Kailangan natin ng mga arrow dyan kasi papakita dyan yung mga processes kung paano natin gagawin ang research natin. Pero alam ko namang alam nyo, nakalimutan nyo lang siguro. Okay? Dyan sa conceptual framework, of course, mag-iiba yan kasi mag-iiba yung mga questions natin. No? Then, implication lang ng study. Okay? So, hindi na natin ititest yung effectiveness ng study ninyo, ng social media. Talagang naipakita na yan eh. Nagkaroon lang ng pandemic kaya maaaring bigyan natin ng new angle yung isang particular na research. Okay? Pero ang ititest na lang natin yung advantages at disadvantages ng social media sa during pandemic, lalo na sa distance learning. Okay? Kasi hindi naman nabago ang distance learning talaga. Sa ating public school lang talaga bago to at saka sa ibang paaralan ng private school. So another thing, ano pa? Mm, so, yung mga respondents natin, paano natin pinili? Kasi kung iilan lang, hindi naman purposive something ang gagamitin natin dito eh. No? Mas maigi sana kung gumamit tayo. Ano kasing tawag dun sa pag-test ng pag-test ng sample natin na computation? Nakalimutan ko na, pero may ginagamit na yung halimbawa yung total ng mga estudyante natin sa grade 12, gano'n, no? Kaya sa senior high school. Then parang i-divide or something na i-multiply, may gano'n, para makuha natin. Tapos yung marginal error, 0.05 yata, something na gano'n. Oo. Pwede natin gamitin tool yon para dun sa mga respondents natin, na hindi lang tayo magiging particular sa 20 students lang. Kasi lahat naman yan, di ba, na ginagawa natin. Kaya lang, sa distance, paano ba natin define distance learning? Gumagamit ng online dito, no?
Yes, sir.
Ang another question ko dito niyan, kasi ang school nyo ba ay pinili ay, ang learning modality na pinili ay modular?
Opo, sir. Modular printed.
Okay. Modular ang ginamit ng DepEd kasi for all yan, di ba? So meaning to say, excluded yung mga tinatawag nating sa public school kasi not everyone, okay? Hindi lahat sila. Not sure lang i-clarify nyo yun. Pero ito yung pananaw ko, pwede tayong gumamit ng mga respondents na gumagamit talaga ng online platform para sa kanilang online classes. Ayan. Kasi kung talagang pili lang yung pwede natin kuning respondents. Kasi kung mag-online classes man tayo, chosen lang. May tawag doon na tawag. Pero pwede yun. May tawag na something doon na kung purposive yata. Kung dahil nga hindi lahat ng estudyante pwedeng mag-online class tapos yung iilan lang. Or meron letter C. Convenient sampling ba yon? I'm not sure. Tanungin na lang kay sir kapag Pero may tawag doon. Pero pwede kung yung teacher, yung mga teacher sa senior high school, gumagawa sila o ginagawa yung tinatawag nating online teaching sa mga bata sa distance learning. Para kahit paano makuha natin yung concept ng paggamit ng social media. Advantages at disadvantages ng paggamit ng social media sa distance learning. No? Kasi kung gagamitin natin diyan yung learning modality natin modular, parang hindi yata siya akma para dun sa pagkuha ng data natin sa research natin, no? So nakuha yung point ko.
Class, do you have any questions? Do you understand?
Mikaela, Len, nakuha niyo yung point ko kung bakit yun yung gusto kong iparating sa inyo. Kasi inuulit ko, kapag gagamitin yung effectiveness, yung kabisaan, usually gumagamit tayo ng statistical treatment dito to test the effectiveness. No? Kasi yan ang ginagawa ko ngayon na research sa DepEd, yung kabisaan ng paggamit ng SLK, self-learning kit sa mga bata. Ayan, no? Kaya naging particular din sila dun sa word na kabisaan or effectiveness. Kaya natatandaan ko siya. Pwede rin naman, kung may time mas madaling gamitin, yung pananaw na lang, perception ng mga estudyante sa paggamit ng module as a learning modality. Ayan. Pwede rin yun, no? Descriptive lang yan, more on checklist lang, no? Ng mga estudyante. Pero yun yung point ko, no? Kapag gagamitin natin yung effectiveness. So, yun lang. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Richmond. That is very comprehensive. I duly noted it here, and we're going to do some post-conference after. Thank you, sir.
Welcome po.
Ma'am Josie, last but not the least.
Oo nga, sir. So, karagdagan na lang po. So, narinig ko lahat naman yung sinabi ni Sir Hernandez. So, doon nga po, sana po, lumitaw nga yung, kung gusto natin pakita yung effectiveness, dapat, yun nga po, gumamit po tayo ng checklist. Or, doon po sa additional na lang po, advantage and disadvantage. Kasi ng social media, So, dapat po gumamit na lang po siguro sila ng respondent which is naka-align po kung paano po madidistinguish. Kasi ang kinamit po nilang mga respondent is modular lang po. So, meron naman po tayong excuse me, mga school which is na available po yung blended learning po. Para makita po natin kung paano nga ba ka-effective or yung ano nga ba ang disadvantage and advantages po ng social media or ng any platform po na kung saan pwede nyo pong magamit. Yan po. Kasi nga, sabi nga, kanina kung ang dami nga po, maganda po yung research kaso nagkulangan lang po siguro ng kaunti. Yun po. Kung gugustuhin po natin makita yung advantage and disadvantages, mas maganda po siguro natin ginamit na respondent is yung mga, meron po silang blended online class. Okay.
Right.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Ma'am Josie. Oh, okay, class. You heard that? So, siguro, pwede yun sa private school strictly online sila, tapos meron combination, blended, tapos may modular para may variety of respondents. So, at this point in time, we would like to take, don't leave yet, class. We would like to award our speakers, our panelists, for their certificate of appreciation. Okay? So, kada banggit ko ng pangalang class, tulungan nyo ako, no? Palakpak tayo, no? Total nandyan, madami kayo dyan. So, yeah, Mikael. Okay. Saglit ka pa, may bless ka na. Okay. So, let me just share this screen here. Okay. So at this moment of time, siyempre, I would like to disclose the fact that ang ating mga panelists na si Ma'am Josie F. De Malayo, licensed professional teacher, Master of Education, at si Sir Richman N. Hernandez, licensed professional teacher, Master of Education as well. They offer their services for free. Okay? So class, hindi po sila nabayaran, pero naglaan sila ng half day, nag-invest sila para sa atin. Kaya malaking pasalamat natin sa kanila at si Sir Marvin din, sorry, nakalimutan ko si Marvin Canlapan, licensed professional teacher, na, kahit sobrang busy nila, okay, they're also teachers, they're coordinators, administrators, master teachers in their respective schools na nag-invest sila ng time para mag-improve tayo. Kaya palakpakan natin class sila. Turn your cameras, voice on, and let's give them a virtual clap. Yes. Thank you. Sa atin mga panelists. So, thank you. Walang pamumuran patak-patak. Okay. So, I would like to read the certificate. Republic of the Philippines, Department of Education, Region 3 Central Luzon, Schools Division of Angeles City, Governor Rafael L. Azatin Integrated School, want to give wholeheartedly this certificate of recognition, and it is awarded to Ma'am Josie F. Damalario, licensed professional teacher, Master in Education, for serving as a panelist in the Session 3 of the first Senior High School Research Colloquium of Inquiries, Investigations, and Immersion for the Grade 12 students General Academic Strand. Given this third day of July 2021 at Governor Rafael L. Lazatin Integrated School, Samira Sapalibutan, Angeles City. Signed, OIC Senior High School and Assistant Principal, Dr. Reggie O. Cruz, Doctor of Education. Thank you so much, Ma'am Josie, and also for, let me read it again, Republic of the Philippines, Department of Education, Region 3, Central Luzon, Schools Division of Angeles City, Governor Rafael L. Lazatin Integrated School. Certificate of recognition is awarded to Sir Richman N. Hernandez, licensed professional teacher, Master in Education, for serving as a panelist in the Session 3 of the first Senior High School Research Colloquium of Inquiries, Investigations, and Immersion for the Grade 12 students General Academic Strand. Given this third day of July 2021 at Governor Rafael L. Lazatin Integrated School, Samira Sapalibutan, Angeles City. Signed, Reggie O. Cruz, Doctor of Education, OIC, Assistant Principal. And lastly, Republic of the Philippines, Department of Education, Region 3, Central Luzon, Schools Divisions of Angeles City, Governor Rafael L. Integrated School, heartfelt warmly present certificate of recognition, and it's awarded to Sir Marvin Lloyd Canlapan, licensed professional teacher, for serving as a panelist in the session 3 in the first senior high school research colloquium of Inquiries, Investigations, and Immersion for the grade 12 students, General Academic Strand. Given this third day of July 2021 at Governor Rafael L. Integrated School, Samira Sapaliput at Angeles City, LGO Cruz, signed, Doctor of Education, OIC Senior High School, and Assistant Principal. So I would like to thank our Ma'am Josie and Sir Richman. Thank you so much. Alam ko napagod kayo sa half day. Pero salamat sa mga technical support ninyo at malaking bagay po sa amin yan. We don't take it lightly and we really appreciate it. So thank you so much and yes sir. Mga bata, magpasalamat tayo personally sa ating mga speakers one by one before we end the session. Go ahead, Sheila. You can start and huy, nakikita ko kayo. You can now personally thank our speakers, our channelists. Okay.
Sa mga panelists po and kay Sir Jotam po sa pag-guide po sa amin. Yes po.
Okay. Dami natin gagawin yan. Okay. So, closing remarks kay Doc Reggie kung nandito siya. Kasi meron din silang ginagawa sa school. Okay, baka po busy si Doc Reggie. Okay, so thank you so much. I would like to, yes, go ahead, Ma'am Josie.
Sir, ask ko lang po, so half day lang po tayo.
Opo, half day lang po
ito
tayo.
lang po yan na, sir.
Yes po,
Okay,
thank you so much. Sir Richman, half day lang po tayo, so
Yes,
we
sir.
will give back your important time in your school, sir.
Apo.
Okay. Thank you so much. I guess we have to end the call. And happy lunch po. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, pwede po audience ulit mamaya.
Circle po.